What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Season Gaming Bitcast, episode 273. I am your host, Leon Kennedy, coming to you with our special Video Game Awards episode.
We didn't know about this, folks.
No.
Good morning.
This would not have been approved.
Okay,
We're
I'm
doing
gonna head out.
We're doing it.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Nailing it. I just got to say, like, quirky things, and I'll mention Umbrella a few times, but we've lost Travis. We just started.
Yeah, I mean, this like later on, are you going to wear that wig? In private time.
You don't worry about what I do in my private life.
I'm just curious. I feel like that. I feel like Patricia would like that kind of stuff. So.
She may. We'll have that conversation. By the way,
I was actually wondering when Travis's forehead was going to end there.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that was pretty sweet.
Travis is going to dip in and out of the show. Anyway, by the way, anyone who has hair touching their face is out of their mind. This is terrible. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? It's going to be a great show today. We've got our Game Awards bet to finally settle. We're actually going to go through all of the Game Awards categories as well. I think there's like 37 of them, if I remember, or 27. We're going to make picks on every one of those blind. Well, not blind, but you know what I mean, on the fly. And we'll figure that bet out too. That's going to be our next bet for the next few weeks. But it should be a great show. I am joined, as always, by this classy.
I like esteemed.
Esteemed. There you go. That's good. Oh, I got hair in my eye. Esteemed panel here. Starting with, of course, what's that say? Just Glassin'?
Just Glassin', baby.
All right.
Glassin'. Yep.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right.
I don't understand Just Glassin'. Is that are you in solidarity with the Covenant?
It's your Mom's House podcast reference. There's a video where Glassin' is like, when you're out hunting and you're just looking through, for deer with your binoculars. And there was a video where a guy's just like, I'm just out here glassing. It was fun.
I apologize. I really did think it was a Halo t-shirt.
No, I don't think I own it.
No, I do have one that I do have a Halo one that says "Stay Glassy."
That would be pretty. That's a pretty dark shirt, referring to like planetary genocide.
It says "Greetings from Reach. Stay glassy." Yeah,
this is gonna be a hard show.
Soon.
I'll be honest with you.
Considering it hasn't happened yet.
You have to laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah, 500 years from now it happens. But anyway, Mr. Hoglaw himself, how we doing, man?
I'm doing okay today. I'm excited about talking about who won this bet, or more specifically,
me too.
who lost it.
Yep, me too. I like both of those.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this show. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm feeling good.
All right, and of course, the VIP today, my good friend, partner in crime, the guy who saved me with his terrible picks, Mr. Tie Guy Travis. How we doing?
Thanks, Kurt. Happy to be here.
Well, the joke is that we might have a loser, but we all really lost.
We did, and that is.
Scores.
Are we going to start there? Can I just launch into this?
No. We're saving the Game Awards thing for. Yeah. We got some other stuff to cover first.
Right,
we'll get there. Yeah, I got to deal with this hair for a little while.
Yeah, this is getting hard to look at. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're like the missing kid from like Zach and Cody, from like the old Nickelodeon shows, like Chet or something.
Yeah. Yeah, found out like what's Chet doing now, and it's like, oh no, poor Chet. Childhood fame didn't do well for him, did it?
No.
I'm having flashbacks to Kids Incorporated.
Yep.
All right. Before we get started, of course, we got a couple things to shout out. Of course, we'll start with Against the Tide with our AI picks from this week. We are Mario.
Yeah,
celebrating the launch of Super Mario RPG.
Yeah,
we're all high res except Travis.
Yeah, what the hell's that about?
You look like a me. Yeah. Like you look like a me.
Why do you guys look like you were generated by AI in 2023, and I look like a lost Nintendo DS character? What is that?
I love it.
Hilarious.
Wow.
I like the necklace, Dan. I don't know what that is. It looks like you have eggs on your chest for some reason, but
Big yellow
I
butt.
think it's a scarab.
No, is that what it is?
yeah,
Okay.
giant scarab. Yeah, yeah.
That makes more sense.
Wario Dan loves his bling.
That's it.
Honestly, he looks the most realistic. He
Thank
looks
you.
like they took an actual dude and a big Italian guy and like just tried to make him dress him up like Wario.
Can I just say that I love that the AI thinks Luigi's hat is a 1.
Yeah, yeah. It's a 1, not an L.
It's funny.
And why is Wario 8? Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that either. But
it's just to
are
go
they-
with the 1.
No, I think they think that it's
Like an 8-ball.
billiards.
Oh,
I think
no,
they think
that's
it's
wrong.
billiards. Yeah.
AI is taking over the world, guys.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Todd, thank you as always. Hilarious picks. Yeah,
This
I
is
don't
more
know why.
offensive to me than anything else that's happened on the show, to be honest. This photo of me.
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
Something very wrong about that.
Of course, I got to shout out a couple memberships here, or gifted memberships. So, Rayman YYC with the 5 Hogue Law memberships, always very
Thank you,
generous.
Rayman.
Fantastic to see. And Vintage Willow starts us off with 10 season gaming memberships, as always. Thank you so much, Vintage.
Thank you, Vintage Willow.
From Leon Kennedy.
Wait, who is Leon's handler? What is her name?
Quite clearly
Oh.
doesn't have one. But
Yeah. What is her name?
You know, she calls in all the time. What is
yeah,
her
I
name?
know what you mean. I don't know the name.
I just
I've
finished
forgotten
playing
her.
the game and I don't know.
Yeah,
Leon.
that's about the level of plot that Resident Evil 4 has. But I'm just
Oh boy.
trying to remember.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's on the soapbox
Here we
again.
I'll get on the soapbox for Resident Evil 4. Yeah.
All right.
We know you will.
Okay. I'm ready for it. I can defend myself.
Oh,
Mm.
chat knows it. It's Hunnigan. How does this
Hunnigan.
escape me? I don't know.
Huntington.
Huntington?
No, it's
Yeah.
Hunnigan. It's definitely Hunnigan.
Hunnigan? Not
That's
Huntington.
close, Rick. No,
Hunnigan.
it's
Okay.
Hunnigan. Huntington is
Okay.
too normal of a name for Resident Evil.
Of course. Yeah, no doubt.
He sounds
Although
right.
I'm Leon Kennedy, for God's sakes. So let's get to the super chat. Willow, thank you as always. Random name with a 999 super chat.
Man. Thank you, random name. Morning, everyone. Take 2 CEO and said GTA 6 should be charged by the hour of content. I'm assuming. Do you think it will be a subscription service or a $100 base game? Would you pay for that? What?
I have a couple of feelings on this. One, I would say a lot of games are already $100 base games, right? Ubisoft has worked this model for a long time, which is that kind of the real game with everything that they put into it is $100 or 100 plus now. And I often buy that version of a game I'm looking forward to because that's where you get the season pass and you get the extras and everything else. I think this was more of a statement from the Take-Two CEO of aspiration. Like, you should look out for it from the future, but I don't think GTA 6 is going to go wildly off book on the price.
No.
I do think that people show that they're willing to play for the GTA experience with GTA Online, and they'll continue to sell through for that. But I don't think they're going to make it a subscription because that would be crazy for what their current model is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is taken a little out of context. Yeah. I mean, this game's going to make $1 billion on launch weekend. Charging normal price.
What's the quote, right? It's like, it's something along the lines of longer games should cost more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how can they continue to make money off of engagement, which they essentially, that's what GTA Online is already. But yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was of the same opinion that it was just sort of a CEO speculating or talking shit and not really anything that we should be taking seriously in terms of what GTA 6 is going to be.
Well, going back to
hear about that
Ubisoft,
already.
I do think they're going to learn that lesson, right? It really depends on the sales of things like Mirage. But I thought their scope got away from them from the price that they were charging anyway. And I've thought about this for a long time, back in the 90s or even the early 2000s, that Square Enix had a much worse model than, Electronic Arts, because they put in whatever time they do to make a Madden game, and Square was building these RPGs and they were charging the same price. And that's good for us. And that's good for a market. You're going to expect that same price for a disc in a box, but it never made a bunch of sense to me that RPGs, you could get a lot more bang for your buck for the same price. So I think if I were pondering to an interviewer that's the kind of thing I might ponder out into the world, but it doesn't mean I'm changing my prices. The market will support what the market supports.
I did see that the Avatar game that comes out next month is $120 in its most advanced form.
For like I think
Yeah,
they call
the
gold,
Ubisoft
right?
high ends. The Ubisoft high ends are 120 or 130 now, right? Because they used to be 100, and then they kind of incorporated the $70 price into their high ends.
Yeah,
it's
pretty pricey, honestly. 120,
no doubt.
Oh yeah.
Far Cry 6 was the same way. They've done that for a couple games, I think. All right, thank you, Random Name. Appreciate the super chat kicking us off here today. Let's go ahead, guys, and jump over.
Chats. They are fun conversations. They help pay for this.
No,
it's great.
Yeah, the super chats. You guys do great with some questions on those and keep us going. On the let's jump over to what we're currently playing. I know Hoag's got a list of notes. I'll kick us off because
it's a very short list. It's just a full post-it note.
I'll kick off because I've only been playing one new game that we haven't talked about, which launched this week actually, which is Persona 5 Tactica. So that launched this week. We've joked a lot on this show about, I'm not a big fan of kind of modern JRPGs. They don't do a lot for me, but Persona is kind of the exception for whatever reason. I just really love the style. I love the darkness to it. I love kind of what they do with Persona. So been looking forward to this one. And I put a couple hours into it, not long, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm very, very early, but I generally enjoy it so far. We were joking before the show. Hoag joked that we didn't know it was going to be kind of a full quote Persona game, but so far it's kind of where it's leading. Leads into the story, a lot of narrative, kind of sets up the entry level tactics gameplay, if you will, and kind of intros you on how to work that, and then layers in the personas, which I think are pretty well done as well, at least so far. So I got to the cafe and kind of had my conversations and set out, and like I said, I'm still pretty early, but really cool. Love the art style as always with Persona, and I think the combination of like I don't know the right word, you guys may have a better one. It's not really childish, it's more of childlike kind of aim.
It's a chibi-esque art style.
Yeah. I think it works well here, and I think they do a really good job with it. I've been enjoying it. I'm looking forward to putting more time into it. It's just another game, of course, on the long list of games. And then I made
Did you play Persona 5?
Oh yeah, for a long time. Yeah.
Do you beat it?
I actually never finished it, but I have like 60, 70 hours in it.
I'm always surprised by anybody that finishes these games. Yeah, I think I have an 85-hour run in Persona 5 Royal, but I didn't finish.
Yeah, it's just those games are
110
so
hours, man. The game's got like 4 endings. You think it's gonna end, and then they just like throw 10 more hours at you, and you're like, God damn, man.
I love Persona 5. I do look at that world and think that they kind of have a sad view of especially society, institutions, and adult relations with children, but literally and figuratively. But it's a great game, and I'm looking forward to playing more Persona 5 Tactica as well. I was surprised by how much narrative they put in. And then in pre-show, Travis said that they also put in that much narrative in like the dance battle game.
Yeah, or the rhythm games, all their games.
Persona 5 is an interesting beast for them because even more than the rest of the Persona series, they seem to be building a universe around Persona 5 specifically and those characters popping in. And I think that was great to visit with them again at the start of Persona 5 Tactica. I just wasn't expecting that much flavor for a tactics game. So if you like that, if you like Persona 5, I do recommend checking it out. I think it might be a little bit overly simple for a tactics game for me, but I haven't gotten far enough to see them put all the bells and whistles in.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I mean, it starts simple, but who knows how deep it gets.
I'm also early, but I would not be surprised if it was just simple, because that is sort of the Persona 5 gameplay. I mean, the turn-based combat in Persona 5 is also like overly simple. I actually played it before Royal came out, so a lot of my complaints might be outdated, but I beat that entire game and I didn't like it as much as other Persona games. It's like dreadfully overwritten, especially if you actually beat the game. Like the last 50 hours are like, oh man, they say the same things like 20 times, 20 different ways. And you're just like, geez, dude. It does get less depressing though, Hoag, at least in the ending. But yeah, they're really good at keeping their characters alive for a long period of time. Like each Persona game gets like a decade of, coverage with different games and little mini stories and retellings through Royal and stuff like that. I did hear that Royal fixed a lot of the complaints I had, but I got maybe like 5 hours into replaying it, and then I was just like, dude, this game is too long. But I am playing Tactica, and I think it's pretty good so far. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and it might finish off more simply. It's interesting, right? Because you have this modern era of tactics games like this and Mario versus Rabbids, and you can see some of the evolutions. Some of them go to making things more complex, like Mario and Rabbids 2. This one seems to be simplifying things. You know, you have a square-based movement grid, but it isn't requiring you to move in squares. It has a kind of more free-form approach to moving your characters around, and then it's a simple button press to fire your guns and whatnot at the enemy. But I think it's well done. It'll be interesting to me to see how much it progresses from where it starts out. It only recently came out, so apologies that I don't have more thoughts on it. I actually got taken up with a different strategy game this week that came out on consoles recently, but has been a PC standard for a couple months now, I think, that I really liked. It is on my Post-it note. Jagged Alliance 3. Don't skip on it, folks.
Great game.
Jagged Alliance 3 is fantastic. It is a action movie, mercenaries head into the jungle to stop a bad guy type game. The kind of thing Dan likes to play in the Ghost Recon universe. But it is a tactical, I wouldn't even say RPG, a tactical strategy game with specific characters that you hire as your mercenaries to specific contracts, and is wildly open-ended across an island and country that lets you choose where you want to go with your various crew. And when I say they're individuals that you hire, they aren't just like XCOM people that are just bodies. They have their own stats, classes, and traits. And like the young American girl that can hide the best is named Mouse, and she has her own voice actress that talks like a mouse. And then I think there's a Polish strongman named Steroid who speaks about killing the terrorists in Polish accents that are ridiculous. And it's very heightened and stereotypical from a kind of 90s action movie perspective, but it is absolutely wonderful.
Excellent. So
that was actually my favorite strategy game of the week, but I wanted to mention it because it is fantastic and it plays really well on console.
Cool.
Very cool. And do you think it should have been nominated for best strategy /
Absolutely. That category is a train wreck.
Yes, it is.
We will certainly get there. We got a couple funny comments, Hogue. So, and I know Travis will appreciate this one. Hogue, Xenoblade Chronicle 3 finishing in 2025.
I feel like 2025 is the year. Yes. I started it back up in the middle of this year and then got hit with Baldur's Gate and Cyberpunk 2.0 and
about
Starfield.
19 other games. Yeah.
We're gonna open that bakery, Hogue. We're gonna bring you
Me
home.
and you are opening it together, Hogue. It's good. We're gonna have all sorts.
We're gonna bring you home, buddy. You're gonna do it.
I think 2025.
I forgot about that joke.
Feels like the right year. I'm gonna have to be beautiful before like I get deeply into Infinite Wealth and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But
by the way, your two games were Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Horizon Forbidden West, which neither of you guys finished, even though you said you were going to. And then mine was Cyberpunk, which I did finish. So
you haven't finished Phantom Liberty yet. I'll hold you to that one.
Yeah, but that wasn't even
I know,
an apple in anyone's eye back then.
I'm willing to accept that you're better at finishing games than me, Travis. I am.
That is true. I have no responsibilities in life. It's great.
I get too excited about the next thing, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm the same way.
What else have I been playing?
I started a new play of Elden Ring yesterday, so that's where I'm at.
Well,
We have another comment for you here, Hogue. Sard asked a question. Can you ask Hogue if he's played Cultist Simulator? I've been trying to get his attention. It's innovative storytelling and very cool.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you have not gotten my attention on this question, Sardisms. That's my fault. Yes, I love Cultist Simulator. It is a fantastic kind of engine to tell a story with cards on a field. And I recommend, I think the next game that creator made is called something like Library of Hours. I think Cultist Simulator is slightly better, but do check out the rest of those types of games because it's a very interesting way to go.
Fantastic. All right. Keep on going, gents. What else?
Yes, no, I can keep on going because I don't think we were going to talk about this on the schedule, but there was a Nintendo Indie World this week.
Yep.
And a couple of games dropped off of it, and I bought them both because I love the Indie World stuff. I love the Switch. And these two games are Backpack Hero and Howl. Backpack Hero is essentially a kind of deck builder, Slay the Spire type game, except instead of cards, you get items, and you put those items in a backpack that represents your inventory. Like think about Resident Evil 4 or something along those lines. Only the geography of the items can affect how they operate and exactly what they do to the opponents that you're facing in whatever dungeon you're going through. And you take that and you put on a village and light RPG components, and you have Backpack Hero. Oh, also you are a rat, a pack rat specifically. So if you always dreamed of that, if that's the fantasy for you in video games, Backpack Hero is there. If you like inventory management, puzzles, being a rat, all of that is available to you and more. The other game that I got from the Indie World Showcase is called Howl, and it is I think they say it's a living ink fable, but it's a strategy game that requires you to essentially say how you're going to go up to 6 spaces ahead and try to imagine, forecast what the enemies are going to do and be ready for them. The premise is that you are a prophet and that you are prophesizing what your turn is going to be against what their turn is going to be. But it's a very interesting kind of approach to strategy games. And I love this stuff from indie developers. I love novel approaches to these things. I can recommend that as well. Very interesting. What else did I play? The Bluey game.
Dan, by the way, sorry, Dan said he lost internet. He's trying to get back. So continue on.
But how did he communicate that? I have questions about this story.
On his phone.
On his phone. Oh, I see. So cell phone coverage is different than internet coverage, huh?
It is.
We'll see.
We live in the future.
Yeah. Some of the kids don't understand that, but I had to explain that to my son.
It doesn't make a ton of sense.
Wait, really? They don't understand that?
They do not understand. Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I've had conversations about the difference. Like my stepdaughter got a Wi-Fi only tablet a while ago, and she's like, yeah, I'll just take it on the road trip with us. And I'm like, it's not going to work. She's like, why not? I'm like, you're not connected to any internet connection. Like, it's just not. She's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I had to explain it to her.
Come on, bro. Hotspot it.
No.
Yeah, but that's where
you're missing the point. You didn't understand.
When you drop a hotspot, then the kids get more confused.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right.
Yeah.
What else have I been
Maybe
playing?
it's because they've never had to worry about internet because they're just like, oh yeah, it's just always there.
It's just in the air.
It's always been there since they were young. Yeah. It's always connected.
The Bluey video game.
Really?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you're the only one that's going to talk about this on the show, Hogue. But go for it.
Are you kidding me? Bluey.
Well, none of us have young kids.
My kids aren't that young. The whole family loves Bluey. Bluey is the story of a family of cartoon dealer dogs in Australia. And
Clearly.
the Bluey video game is a video game version of that cartoon family. Interestingly, unlike other preschool-based games, your Peppa Pigs or what have you, it's a kind of sandbox game. So you get to explore Bluey's house, you get to explore the beach, you get to explore the park, and pick up things like stickers and play games like keeping a inflated balloon up in the air across your family. So do check it out if you love Bluey. It is pretty much exactly what you'd expect, but my family loves Bluey, so we picked that one up.
Sounds like a game that Travis may have to play. We'll see.
Oh yeah, the Bluey game? I mean, it's fun though. I mean,
yeah, you can't hurt me with that.
Okay.
Buddy.
No, I mean, I don't think we need to hurt him. It's just I think more something funny. But we'll
I
get
also got the first Ghost Runner after Travis recommended Ghost Runner 2. I have to say, Travis, Ghost Runner is a little bit of a stretch for my hand right now. It's about the edge of what I can do.
I figured.
But I'm working my way through it.
The good thing about that one is it's low stakes. Like you die, you lose like 8 seconds of progress. You know,
it is. It's got rapid reloads, and it's necessary because I think I died 80 times on the first level.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Mo, our good friend Mo, loved Ghost Runner 1. Died like over 1,000 times, but played it, beat it, loved it. But I think dying's part of that game, right? You're just continually rerunning to figure out how to do it better.
You just get hit, and then you reload instantaneously.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a cyber ninja in a narrative I don't understand yet, check out Ghost Runner.
Ghost Runner 1's story is one of its weaker points, but Ghost Runner 2 redeems itself in that regard. They put a lot more effort into it. So
Well,
It's also a lot harder now.
Ghost Runner 1 was on sale in the PlayStation Black Friday sale, which I think Black Friday sales now are just kind of in the neighborhood of Black Friday. So
yeah, it's like Black
check
Month,
that out.
basically.
I picked back up with Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I may hold until Dan's back with us.
The Gaiden, the new one?
No, Yakuza Like a Dragon is the Ichiban game.
Okay. Oh yeah.
The original one.
I know. The naming is ridiculous. No, yeah. I started playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Yes. Yeah.
And realized that there were bits and pieces that I thought were references, and I wanted to pick back up in Yakuza Like a Dragon. So I downloaded that again and started that back up.
Cool.
So, like I said, I'm easily distracted.
Did you never finish it?
No, never finished it.
Oh, it's a good one.
All achievements.
I've also been picking up back with Crusader Kings 3. It's always good to pick games that don't have endings. That really helps your backlog.
Crusader Kings 3 is amazing. What a game.
And of course, Super Mario RPG. And I skipped a couple of these because they're not very interesting to talk about, but I have also started back up with Jurassic World Evolution 2 that had a DLC that I didn't have. That's one of my favorite kind of zoo theme park building management games. But yeah, Sarnism says, I never finish games. Travis 100%s them. That's the two kinds of gamers. Well,
I don't usually 100% a game, but that was a game I was looking for more reasons to keep playing. I didn't want it to end. And so I was like, what can I do? And I looked at the achievements, and some of the achievements are like, you better play this game hella long. And I was like, nice. So I loved that game, dude.
I don't know how Hogue you play so many games in a week. Is it like you play each for like half an hour?
ADHD, buddy. It's an affliction and a gift.
I have had an interesting year. So I've had more
time.
Yeah,
I mean, that's perfectly fair too. Yeah.
And I use a number of these games for therapy, right? Like I got Ghost Runner specifically to challenge myself.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
And those kinds of things. So no, I love games. And as you can tell from my lists, I like different kinds of games.
Just not PlayStation games. I've heard about you.
We have that in common.
Just PlayStation games. Well, a lot of these I am playing on PlayStation. So you could tell the haters.
Impossible.
I did play Persona 5 Tactica on the Xbox because it's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass.
I work for IGN, so I must love Sony because we
and you hate Xbox. That's why you two balance each other out,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Wait, balance each other out. Aren't we both saying we both love Sony and hate Xbox? Isn't that what?
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Man, we got to counter them then, It's just versus all over the screen.
Just let me know.
You're the Switch defender, Dan.
Travis and Hogue backstop each other too much. They aren't watching the show.
Yeah. I don't know how you could hear anything I say and think that I like Xbox or PlayStation. I'm not a fan, really.
I'm amazed you like video games, Travis.
What's that?
I'm amazed you like video games. After
Yeah,
what
me
they
too.
put you through.
Yeah, that's fair.
Damn, Hogue. All right, that's a lot of games. Travis, Dan, you guys play anything good?
I'll let Dan go first because I'm sure
Yeah.
he only played Hitman.
No, I did not only play Hitman.
He's. I'm sure. Did you finish erase his name? Yeah.
No, not even close.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
think I'm close. I think I might be 50% through.
Okay.
And that's because there's a ton of side stuff.
Were you the one who told me that you get a demo of
Yes.
Infinite Wealth? Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna play that game now. I'm gonna beat it because I want to get that demo.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to buzz right through it because it unlocks, I think, at the end of.
Is that demo not available from the menu?
I don't know. I never actually looked because
Apparently it's right on the front menu.
I don't ever get to
You
the
just have
front
to
menu.
buy it.
No, you don't buy it. It just says Infinite Wealth, and it has some kind of phrasing.
I mean, buy the
suggesting
game.
it's just the demo for the.
I was told you
maybe
have
it
to beat
does.
the game to
I
get
thought
the
you had to
demo,
unlock it,
but if you
yeah.
can just play it from the main menu, that's awesome.
It's even better.
Yeah.
I'll have to go over there. I literally, anytime I start it up, I just hit like continue on my PlayStation, so I never actually see a menu. It just pops up.
Well, I think you were watching, Dan, but I did mention that I picked back up with Yakuza Like a Dragon because I was playing a little bit of the man who erased his name and thought I should go back.
Couple of our chatters said it does not let you play until you finish the game. It's locked.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so
yeah. Thank you guys.
I'm like tempted to just like put that game.
Yeah,
through
I'm
its
never
paces
playing the
and give it a
demo,
break.
so I'll just wait for the full game.
Oh,
That's fair, chat. I never tried to click it.
No, I have no idea. I literally,
Clipping
I didn't
that.
even look at the
no
menu.
curiosity.
No, I mean, I want to play that, obviously, but I thought it was locked, so I just didn't even think about it and decided just to go through it. There's a lot of stuff for such a small. Was supposedly, I thought, even last week I said I thought it was supposed to be like originally a DLC for Like a Dragon, but there's a lot. But that's
Wasn't
all.
it actually supposed to be a DLC?
Yeah, I think it
And
was.
then they just turned it into a full game.
Yeah, but the way they did it, I think they did it more with like side activities, mini games, and a lot of that different stuff. I don't know how meaty the narrative actually is. It's good so far.
It's a lot of retreading.
Yeah, but it's excuse me. There's a lot of mini games. The new Hostess mini game. And when I say Hostess, I don't mean Twinkies. So normally I would. It is really kind of creepy. I'm not. It's weird because you're sitting there. You have to play through, I think at least one just to get through the main story, and they use basically live action models, and it's all kind of pre-scripted, and you talk to them and you answer their questions, and they're dressed very seductively. And it's weird when you're sitting there playing and all of a sudden your wife comes over. She's like, "What are you playing?" And I'm like, I have to get through this. I'm just telling you. I have to get through this to progress the story. I promise." And she's like, "This is."
Yeah, he plays it for the story.
Yeah. I also maxed out. Yeah. Kai. So, that's just.
The
just
Yakuza games try to make you uncomfortable.
They make you super uncomfortable at times. And it was not great. And then when you finish one of those, and you get to the max level with this hostess, they have like a whole nother cutscene, and it's even more awkward somehow.
I bet they do.
It's I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Just go and if you want to play it, Travis.
I've seen the screenshots, and I'm like,
oh,
what
that
the hell's
doesn't do it
going on?
justice. It doesn't do it justice. It just makes you feel like just squirmy and creepy. And
what's funny is
just like
the full motion video era in the 90s, right? When you think about the 3DO and the CDI and things like that, had games that were specifically marketed for what you just described, kind of creepy videos. And I remember like there was a game in the store for the CDI called Voyeur, which was just you looking in windows and various things to see people in their own habitats. And it was the only game that was like adults only. You don't even look at this cover, Hogue. I was like, okay. But you those kinds of games existed.
He got the platinum on that one.
No, you looked at the cover. Yeah, let's be honest.
He 100%ed it.
It was a slipcase that was a keyhole to like people on a bed.
Yeah, slipcases and keyholes. That's right.
You
dirty boy.
The most disturbing phone call ever.
I'm clipping that too. I've already got 2 clips for this episode.
Anyway, that's all I've been playing. It's been really good so far. I like Yakuza. I can do without that maybe, but otherwise.
It's funny. I was going to say that last week to you, Dan, because you were talking about the new game, and I love the main storylines of these games. I think they're very cool. I have never liked the side quest type stuff. There's a perv, and you got to hit him in the head with a drone or whatever. I never liked any of that stuff in the Yakuza games, and so it's good that you can take the whole package, as it were, and enjoy it all, because that's one of the things that I really struggle with the series.
I mean, that is a big part of Japanese culture.
Like I was gonna say, I think some people play the game for those ridiculous situations, right?
Yeah, they just make you uncomfortable. Mostly.
I'm just trying to get them to make me shout pumpkin patch at some point during the game.
There you go. That's it.
Nice.
It's really.
Go ahead, Travis.
I don't know if people even. Those are our long-term viewers who remember these references at this point.
Oh, real quick, there was a question about Hitman. Actually, I saw in the chat from RJ.
He's never looking at the chat, but Hitman, his eyes were like.
No, I was literally, when my internet crashed, I was answering the question and it just went.
I'm sorry, I've lost it.
Yeah. Just It's fine. Don't
They
worry.
probably thought you had to go on a
Basically,
mission or something.
So it asks if I should be playing the main missions. It's the best way to play Hitman. That's a good way to start off. Play through the whole main story. Go back maybe and play a couple other ones. You can start unlocking a lot of more stuff that will help you out further down the line. And then there's Freelancer, which you can basically do whatever you want to. And it's also really enjoyable. A lot of ways to play it.
Freelancer's like the rogue type mode they added, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, I tend to play the current Hitman by going through and memorizing each level to the best I can before going on to the next one.
Yeah, I think you can level up 20 times in each level, and each one of those will give you some kind of bonus or item or something or unlock in that level where you can start as a different person or different area with a different costume. All that will, there's a lot of content, tons of it. So, any way you really play it is kind of fine.
You should honestly talk about it more. Honestly, I feel like you haven't informed us about Hitman.
Calm down, Cobain. Calm down.
I was gonna make fun of you, but I realized after starting a new character in Elden Ring, I want to say for the 7th time yesterday, that I'm basically Dan now with Elden Ring and Hitman. So same thing.
I think I've played through Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 5 times. So
doesn't that feel good? Like you got that game that's just like
it's
Busted makes me feel good.
100%. Yeah.
Does it now, Travis?
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Do you guys see that?
See? PlayStation fan. Still. It's because they make you
love
bust.
the Ghostbusters, Travis.
Because they make you bust. Don't say that. Don't say that, Ains. Not with that wig. Don't talk about what makes people bust.
What, you can't take me seriously? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I just like how you advanced the reference to Cobain in case people didn't understand your first one, Travis.
All right,
It's
Travis,
pretty
you said you
uncanny,
got games for us. Tell us.
Yeah, I got games. I am reviewing Anacrusis, which gets a 1.0 release. Do you guys remember this game?
Nope.
No.
Great.
Maybe if I saw it.
Fantastic. It's a like Left 4 Dead type co-op shooter with episodes, and the big differentiator is rather than being zombies in a like creepy, post-apocalyptic Earth setting, it's in space, and it's like disco era 70s Silver Age space aesthetic.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
pretty cool idea.
It looks like a Deathloop in space.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool idea for a game in terms of aesthetic. I do not have access to the 1.0 version yet, which is what I'm going to be reviewing. But as soon as I found out I was reviewing it, I went and started to play the preview version. The preview version, so far as I can tell, is very similar to what IGN reviewed, I think a year ago, maybe over a year ago when it entered preview, where they gave it a 5 out of 10. And based on what I've played so far, I would certainly agree with that review. I might even go a little lower. I don't think it's a very good game in preview, but I also said that about Grounded before Grounded 1.0 came out.
Yeah, that's true.
I ended up loving that game. So I'm hopeful that they've made progress, but I spent some time playing all of the episodes in their beta preview forums just to kind of get a feel for the game and where it's been historically. And then I think I'm getting a code for the 1.0 like end of next week. Or
I was going to say, it says official release is December 5th, so it's got to be soon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty soon here. And then well, once I have access to that, I'll be able to do my full review.
Looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool idea for a game. I'd say just the reason I have not really been enjoying it too much in preview is it's like Left 4 Dead with worse shooting mechanics, lower budget. Weirdly, the aesthetic, cool disco era stuff is like kind of lost on the game because you're just getting swarmed by generic alien creatures all the time, and the world, the levels are pretty empty, even though they have like a cool look to them. So, and there's no story at all, just sort of drops you in there, at least in the preview. I'm hoping that they'll like add story, add an explanation for why the universe is the way it is, and throw some more stuff in there. But in preview, it's like just a very, very bare bones game. But again, this is kind of the cool part about early access is you got to assume that they're learning things and gathering feedback and improving the game. And it'll be interesting to see how it turns out when we get a 1.0. So
Cool.
that's the next game not the next game I'm reviewing. It's the next game that my review will be out for, because I'm actually reviewing 2 games at the same time, but one of them has a long embargo and is a very long game. And that is Asgard's Wrath 2, which I can't really talk about, but that is a 60+ hour open world RPG VR game.
In VR?
In VR. Wow. It's open world. It's got companions, companion quests. It's got a separate roguelike mode where you can, like Dark Souls style, leave your sprite behind as an invader for other players or as a co-op partner for other players. It's just a massive game, like absolutely massive. And so the review process for that has already kicked off. And I can't really go into the details, but it's going to be a really long process. And then I think my review is in the middle of December. When that'll be out. So in preparation for that, I'm also replaying Asgard's Wrath 1, which I don't know if anybody here has played that, but that is a phenomenal game. It's like it was one of the first like big VR games. I think it even predates Half-Life Alyx, and I would say it's still today one of the most impressive VR games. It's a full like RPG with multiple storylines and upgrades and side quests and stuff. It's just really cool. The only drawback is
Norse mythology.
What's that?
What if I'm over Norse mythology?
Yeah, I think they are too, because the sequel kind of ditches Norse mythology, aside from the fact that Loki is in it. Like the first one is like all Norse mythology and you go in different ones. And then 2, they start out with, I can't talk about this because it was
I was going to stop you, Travis. You're not allowed to talk about 2. I don't want you to get in trouble.
I can talk about this part because I previewed it, but they start out with an Egyptian story where you're in deserts and there's like pharaohs and stuff like that, and the Egyptian pantheon, and then they immediately ditch that for the second character, which they've also already revealed, which is like an interesting like what do they call that vibe where it's like fairies and sprites and
Fae?
Like Fae. It's kind of like a Fae thing where you play an archer who all of her equipment is organic. So like you have a bow that's like living, and all your equipment is like other creatures that are cooperating with you, and also
they don't make Rick and Morty jokes, do they?
They do not. They do not. They don't talk to you at all. Actually, it's just sort of like a Fae vibe.
No, I dig it.
At least from what I played in preview, they don't talk to you.
And that's a Meta 3 exclusive.
Number 2.
Yeah, so number 2 is a Meta exclusive because Sanzaro Games got bought by Meta. They're now like an internal studio, and those are the people that made like Thieves in Time, the Sly Cooper game, and they're a pretty great studio, and Meta scooped them up, I think, after Asgard's Wrath, because that game is like really good. But I'm replaying Asgard's Wrath 1, and I think I'm like 20 hours into it. It's a pretty massive RPG, so I'm gonna try to get through it before my Asgard's Wrath 2 review really
well, after your Nexus review, I was thinking about getting a Meta 3. You'd recommend that?
I do, honestly. I think the MetaQuest 3 is worth buying because it comes with Asgard's Wrath 2 bundled in, so you get that game, and that's like their flagship. And the Nexus is an exclusive, and Nexus is like a reason to buy that headset. I mean, it's a damn good game.
Your review was very convincing.
Thank you. Yeah, I really had a good time with that. That's the other one I wanted to talk about because I think this is the first show that I can actually talk about it, right? The embargo lifted on Thursday. So thank you for reminding me. Assassin's Creed Nexus is a fully realized Assassin's Creed game in VR. It is a 15-hour story, 20 hours worth of like content if you're taking your time and doing like the museum tours and side quest stuff. And it super nails like the parkour, the climbing, jumping from building to building, and it doesn't make you motion sick while you're doing it, which is phenomenal and crazy. The fact that it's completely wireless means that you don't have to worry about spinning in place as you're jumping from different ledges and worry about the cord wrapping around you. And stealth is also amazing, like just creeping down the streets and tailing people and like ducking behind, crouching, getting on all fours and to avoid notice and stuff. Just works so well in VR. And the story is honestly not bad. Like it for the caliber of stories that have been in Assassin's Creed games lately, I would describe it as much better than those, to be honest. And And so a little generic, there's like a MacGuffin that Abstergo's trying to get and you have to stop them and all that. But it does some really cool stuff with AR where like if you are playing in the MetaQuest 3, suddenly you'll be back in your living room and there's like story beats that happen while you're outside of the Animus, which is cool, which is really cool, including the ending. The ending is so creative. They just do some really cool stuff with it. And then the shortcomings are because it's on the MetaQuest 3 and it's a fully wireless device, there are some technical limitations. There's pretty long load times in between anything that happens. Faces don't really look great. It's some of the more like low res character models in VR, which isn't really new to VR, but compared to some of the wired games that you might see on like the PSVR 2, it's definitely a step down. And that's just the nature of the beast with it being a fully wireless game.
Yeah.
Wireless headset. And then also combat sort of feels like an afterthought. It's not very good, even for like VR standards. It's sort of just like, honestly, I feel this way about other Assassin's Creed games, non-VR ones, like just people kind of standing around you waiting, and then they attack one at a time and you just block and strike back. And so all the combat sections, especially when you're playing in ancient Athens as Cassandra, like there's just a lot of combat in that storyline because it's a war story. And so you're kind of just like, all right, let's get back this. I want to go back to the parkour stuff and doing leaps of faith into hay. So yeah, I ended up giving it a 3 out of 10. Rick Davis asks, can I confirm or deny that the bleeding effect is real? Can I climb a building and do eagle dive in real life now? I'm pretty sure I can. I feel pretty well equipped for that. So gonna try it after the show.
Did you say you gave it a 3 out of 10?
So did I say 3 out of 10?
You said 3.
Did. Oh, whoops. I might have been reading a comment or something. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's a good game.
Okay, I was like, you were telling us it's good, and then you said a 3. I'm like, wait a minute.
Whoops.
I wasn't going to correct him on his number.
Whoops. No, I give it a 7 out of 10, which means good, not great. I could have gone between a 7 or an 8. Ultimately, I think some of the drawbacks brought me to a 7, but it's a very good game, and I think if you're at all interested in VR, like that kind of. The cool thing about it is even if it's not the best VR game I've played this year, it really is the reason I started playing VR games again. Like I previewed that game a month ago, and when I played it, I was like, damn, I forgot how cool VR could be. And I just sort of jumped back into it. Yeah, I actually ended up finishing Synapse this week because of my sort of new
Synapse is cool, man.
Yeah, my ignited interest in VR. And I also want to play the roller coaster VR game that's made by the Dark Picture Anthology guys. Do you guys know about that? That's a PSVR 2 game.
I have that
Switchback?
one. I can't remember which
Switchback.
word they use.
Switchback. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play that one too. I bought it and I'm excited to play it. But VR sort of on a roll here at the end of the year, which I think was the last thing we were missing from our Infinity Stone year that is 2023, right? We were sort of missing some really high quality VR games. And if Asgard's Wrath 2 is as good as it previewed, I think it's going to be really cool. So yeah, I've been getting back into that. I'm very close to beating Talos Principle 2. I've sort of just been playing that when I have like a spare 30 minutes or whatever.
Talos is so fun, but it hurts.
Yeah, I'm blowing through that game, man. It's like the puzzles are. I just have such an appreciation for good puzzle games because I once I heard a talk at the GDC Game Developer Conference where I can't remember which studio it was, but somebody who makes puzzle games was talking about how hard it is to make puzzle games because there's no like universal language for puzzles. Like basically every game has to teach you how to do their kinds of puzzles. And so it's not so much teaching them like logic or like how to do puzzles. It's basically just getting the player on the same wavelength as the people that made the game. And so once you guys are speaking the same language, then you can like increasingly make those puzzles more complicated. And the process of like deciding what your vibe is and how your puzzles are going to work and then explaining that to the character, to the player without explaining it to them, like them just sort of like figuring it out by doing more and more advanced puzzles is something that I'm just so kind of like taken aback by. Like I'm in awe when people get that right because it just seems so difficult.
That's puzzle games, right? I mean, I was thinking about that while I was playing Talos, is that it's another language and you're figuring out what this laser does with this thing and how that works. And the puzzles in Talos Principle are primarily you figuring out what the rule set is. And then mostly, and I think I said this on a prior show, they took out completely the notion of, and Portal uses this a little bit, of like twitch agility as a function of the puzzle. So they have very kind of hard and fast rules for what you can do vis-a-vis when you're off a button and you can't sneak through doors. You're not trying to sneak through anything. You're not trying to figure out the game that way. And it's just a fantastic game. And more than Talos Principle 1, I want to say narrative, but it's really color. It has so much color and kind of world flavor to what it is that you're doing. And they constantly have your team of explorers call you and have emails sent to you and things that are just informing your process of going through this really interesting question. Like if you're into puzzle games as it is, I think you're going to be interested and invested in what's happening in the world of Talos Principle 2 to motivate you to get to the end. It's a really, really, really strong game.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm coming close to the part where I assume I'm gonna have to go do like the uber difficult puzzles. They're probably optional, the gold puzzles. I haven't started those yet, but I'm getting really close.
Puzzles? Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm getting really close to the part where you have to start doing those. So I assume those are going to be brutal. But I honestly, I'm not having trouble with the game. I'm sort of blowing through it, and it's just been like a fun way to pass the time. But
it's not even a humble brag, folks. It's just a brag. I'm just blasting through Talos Principle 2.
Well, I mean, I'm blasting through it, but I haven't gotten to the gold puzzles yet, so that's not really that much of a brag. I'm doing all the optional ones, like
it's not easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. I think they do such a good job of playing
this year, but it's still not easy.
I had a brain hemorrhage this year. A hell of a preface. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just having fun with it, man. That game is just like my chill, like relax game because as you pointed out, there's no like Twitch skill or whatever. It's literally just like
the music is super chill.
If you're on the same vibe as them, if you understand their language, you will figure out puzzles eventually. And so I don't have any like stress about it. I'm just sort of like, yeah, there's a solution here. I just need
What's funny is Talos does my favorite thing, which is that I cannot figure out a puzzle, right? And then you walk and you say, you know what, I'm going to try a different one. And you go and you think the next three are really easy. And you're like, why are these so easy? And that one was stymieing me. And then you go back and you solve it in 10 seconds. If you give your brain a little time to percolate on these puzzles. Talos Principle 2 is my favorite puzzle game in a long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one's awesome. And I'm playing other games too. This was one of the only weeks where I didn't have any active reviews. I'm sort of getting my ducks in a row. And so because of that, I've just basically been able to just play a bunch of games that I want to play, and I'm catching up on stuff, and it's cool. But I know this has already gone an hour or currently playing. So I will end it there, but I'm playing a lot and I'm very excited about the reviews I have.
We play a lot of games as a combined unit here, I would say. So
and also
the fact that I have 2 reviews left for the year means I will be tying myself for 25 reviews.
Nice.
The same amount I got last year. So I'm going to get there, which is cool.
That's a lot of reviews, man. No doubt.
It's a lot.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like I think I've done 10 this year, and that felt like a lot. So
10 is a lot.
Crazy.
10 is a crap load. That's like more than most editors that I can probably.
You heard it here first.
I didn't get to talk about the Remnant 2 DLC.
2.5 crap loads.
I did play Remnant 2 DLC before it came out, and it's great. I have not played it since it went live, but cool game.
I'm hearing good things. Yeah, I mean,
underrated.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's a good action game. You know what I mean?
God damn it! All right, that's a great segue, honestly, into Game Awards, because no doubt. The fact that was nominated for Best Action Game but not Best Action RPG is offensive to me.
Oh Remnant 2.
Yeah. We'll get to it.
Not
we got
enough
some categories.
Of an RPG, but you know what it is? Lies of P, a game with almost no RPG elements, for sure.
We'll get there.
It's an action.
Lots of stuff.
No doubt.
Let's talk about our Game of the Year nomination awards. How did those go, Ains?
Oh man, I'm excited.
Not for all of us.
I'm excited.
The fact that all of you guys tied for first place with 3, that's crazy, dude.
It's kind of what we figured would happen, right? Like 3 of us got 3 right, and 1 of us got 2 right. So here is the official Game of the Year nominees. I'm sure everyone's seen these, but I'll throw them up. So Alan Wake 2 did make it, but of course the big, I think, surprise on this panel anyway is it did not kick off Resident Evil 4. They both made it. Along with, we knew Baldur's Gate 3 and Tears of the Kingdom would make it. I think most of us thought Spider-Man would. I think Wonder and Resident Evil 4 are the bigger surprises here. But, yeah, here we are. So this is 6.
I think I knew Wonder would make it once I played it. I just don't think we could have bet that it was
one that I regretted not thinking.
I didn't even know it was a game when we did this thing. I was like, what is this?
I don't think, I mean, like a lot, I didn't think some of these would come out, you know what I mean? Like
so long and the short of it is we all got Tears of the Kingdom. Those 3 guys got Baldur's Gate 3, obviously. Me, Hogue, Dan got Spider-Man 2. And then
I feel a little guilty for that too. So I mean, we could talk about Resident Evil 4 Ains, but like I don't even think Resident Evil 4 is the least deserving on this list.
I do, but Spider-Man 2 is a close second for sure. I think Resident Evil's less deserving though.
So we're gonna get into this. So we're gonna we'll talk about our bet. We're also gonna go through all the categories of the Game Awards and pick. We're going to make a new bet where we're going to pick the winner of every category, including like esports coach and stuff like that. So
to be clear, Ains, for you and for the chat, right? These are not our personal picks for these categories. This is who we think is going to win.
Yeah, who we think is going to win for sure. So just before we do that, let's get these couple super chats out of the way. Debbie W's here.
W with $20 super chat. Power Wash Sims Back to the Future pack is out. All the nostalgia. I really like it.
Nice.
WoW players, Twitch drops for White Riding Camel are live until Tuesday morning, and the 19th anniversary event is live. For Azeroth.
In fact, it's funny you bring up WoW, Debbie, because that's one of the ongoing games I've heard the most kind of complaints about that it wasn't listed, because WoW has been, from what I hear, I don't play it, but from what I hear, they've been on fire lately. And it not being listed, people were complaining about.
The ongoing game category is another train wreck. So
I know.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of train wrecks in these categories, believe me. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes. Cool to hear about the Back to the Future pack too. The nostalgia there was definitely cool. Thank you so much, Debbie. Appreciate you.
I want to hear more about this. I like Power Wash Simulator. What is the Back to the Future pack? You watch DeLoreans?
Yes.
Yeah, it has all the licensed content from Back to the Future. Yeah. Yeah, there's I don't know the full details, but the DeLorean's in it. I'm sure there's other stuff too.
You have to wash
Debbie,
the manure off of Biff. Maybe.
Feel free to comment what's in there. Don't super chat again, but and console peasant in the house.
Yes, Ains reminds me more of
Yeah, me too.
Well played, console peasant. Well played.
Yeah. Unrelated to the cosplay, agreed.
All I know is you're going to have a ton of like costumes by the end of the year. You're going to be good to go. You've been doing
and we say like, if you didn't know, my wife and I dress up for Halloween every year in something different, and we've saved those costumes for many years. We have tons.
I like to think there's a costume box right off camera.
Yeah.
I'm sure those costumes are for Halloween.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Right. Halloween.
All I know is every time I try to look up Ains's skirt, he calls me a pervert and covers it up. So.
And Dan just thinks it's part of the Yakuza series.
Yeah. Normal Yakuza thing.
Do a cameo. Yeah. Thank you, console peasant. Appreciate you. All right. So game of the year. So long story short, in the end, me, Dan, and Ho got 3 correct. Travis got 2. And so we have not picked the game yet, but we're going to kind of come together and pick a game that Travis has to play. Obviously, Travis having a reputation of playing bad games to begin with. We don't feel we can really hurt him here, but I'm sure we can find something funny for him to play.
Put saw blade to arm. You can't hurt me.
But
I'm Luke Cage, baby. Luke Cage.
Someone named Ainsley Bowden submitted a video for us to play to memorialize this occasion that I'm going to share with you now.
Great.
Production value.
And our audience. So in honor of you, my friend.
Because I know a lot of people who are on the panel.
I don't know. I think Resident Evil 4 could be up there.
Oh, that's not going to get nominated, but I think it shouldn't.
Travis, you're the only one who does not have Spider-Man 2.
I stand by that. I would love that.
I'm telling you, Alan Wake lore. Some of the best writing in video gaming, and if Alan Wake 2 is remotely as good, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And none of us put it on our Game of the Year list.
Of course we didn't. It's not gonna. It's not. It just isn't. I'm sorry. It's so amazing. If any remaster gets nominated, I'm gonna be pretty fucking. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get last place. Like, I'm very confident of that.
I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get last place. Like, I'm very confident of that. Very confident of that.
All things I said. All right. Before we talk about how wrong I was,
fantastic.
Before we talk about how wrong I was, here's stuff that was not included in the video that I'm very proud of. One, I was right on the money about Diablo 4 not getting nominated.
You were, yes.
Crazy. And I said, listen, I know the people who nominate. People, and I think the very next sentence after that was included in the clip was, I know people who nominate and they do not play ARPGs. And
you did. I will give you.
I don't think that game's
going
to get nominated. Yeah. The other one that I said I didn't think was going to get nominated was Starfield, which Starfield was on my list originally, but once I played the game, I was like, that game is not going to show up on the list.
You did.
I called that one as well. So I think there was some stuff like, and the things that I was wrong about, I'm glad that I was wrong about them, right? Like, Resident Evil 4 should not be on the list. Spider-Man 2 should not be on the list. There were better games that came out this year.
I don't think any of us are disagreeing with you. I mean, we all agree on that.
I was wrong on that. It's like not that bad. And also, you guys won by one game. So, like, we're all pretty wrong. Like,
hey, it doesn't matter if it's an inch or not, you know,
an inch or mile. I lost and I own that, but I'm proud about how I lost because I was right about so many things. I was right about Diablo 4, Starfield. Like, I'm chilling. I'm not even worried about this one. So,
oh my god, you have no idea how funny it was creating that video because one, over the past like 5 days, I've been doing other things and listening to our old shows at 1.5 times speed. To try and find the clips of when we were talking about the video game awards because I don't track it, right? So I went through like 10 episodes and then I saved the videos, moved them to my computer to edit them. They were in the wrong format from my iPhone. So I had to do it again and find them all again and save them all again. So that little 1 minute video you just watched probably took me like several hours worth of time to actually put together, but it was worth it.
Just seeing the cuts, I knew that took a long time. So
I also love that the clip from last week was at 1.5 speed. The episode where we were talking.
I know. I couldn't. Yeah, I went to edit it, and then it just turned out really odd. And I'm like, oh, this one's going to be faster. By the way,
I mean, that kind of is appropriate if you've watched the episode where we're talking about playing at double speed and stuff. I thought it was on purpose. I thought you were doing like an illusion. I was like, oh, that's a good callback.
This hair, man. The funny thing is, I got used to listening to the episodes at 1.5 times speed, and it sounds normal now. I agree with everyone else. Like, once you get used to listening to it at that, it sounds normal. It's quite funny.
If you're watching like a premiere or a live video and you're watching to speed up to get to live, and then you get there, it sounds like everybody's drunk.
Yeah, sounds like you're slow motion.
You hear everybody going slowly, and you're like, "What? That's not right."
But anyway, Travis, it's been a lot of fun. We'll figure out a game for you to play. All jokes aside, but let's go ahead and get into.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
And I know, like, choose your own punishment is never really like a good form, but I still have not played Gollum.
It was down to $10 last week too. I saw that.
I still have not played it. I'm just saying I don't even own it. So I mean, that one's been on my list of like bad games I feel like I have to play, and I don't know if I will at this point unless I'm forced to. So I mean, that's a suggestion. I could play
the King Kong game. Yeah.
Fair warning. I would love to play the King Kong game. Also, that's a publisher, Game Mill. They came out with a game this week called Walking Dead Destiny.
Yes. It looked like a big trailer.
It looks horrible. And that game is it's made by the same people that made the Avatar Last Airbender game that was a 4 out of 10, the King Kong game that was a 3 out of 10, and Nerf Legends 2 years ago that was a 2 out of 10. So this publisher is just like shoveling out really well-known IPs that they get licenses for, and they're just creating like hot.
Did you say they're called Game Mill?
They're literally called Game Mill Entertainment.
Game Mill. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it is in the name, and so it's pretty brutal. So one of those games. I mean, I've already played the Avatar one. King Kong, sounds terrible. I hear it's only 4 hours though. Gollum seems like the worst punishment because I think it's like a full game, but it's probably
You don't
also
have to
not as
finish
bad.
it. We said that. Like,
Oh,
it can
okay.
be too long. Yeah,
I
you
like
don't have to
Gollum.
finish it. But
Walking Dead game seems like it's worse than all those though. Maybe not King Kong. King Kong's probably worse, but yeah.
we'll think about it. Sometimes, though, in all fairness, sometimes, like, my biggest problem with games are like the 4s and the 5s. Like, sometimes playing a 1 or a 2 is actually comical because it's so bad, it's just funny. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, trying to play something that could be good but has a whole bunch of issues is more frustrating to me.
For me, the 6 review is the hardest to write. A game that's just okay.
Yeah,
You don't
it's
have
just
like
there.
you don't have super strong feelings either way. You're just kind of like, I mean, it exists. You know, that's really hard to write like 2,000 words for.
By the way, before we get into all these categories, we're sitting at just under or just about 300 concurrent across our channels here. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us. We're gonna have a lot of fun with these Game Award picks. So let's go ahead and get over to those. But we have a super chat from a Thomas Hogue. I have heard of this gentleman before. We're going to go ahead and get to it.
Oh, look
Yes,
at that.
this is my dad.
It is his dad.
Lol.
The $9.99 super chat. Your show is outstanding. Great analysis, fun commentary, and just the right amount of disagreement. Yeah. You love to see my son at full speed. You should see him at 6 times speed. Thank you all for standing by him. He's worth it. We agree.
He is.
$9.99 super chat. That is your allowance this week, Hogue.
That's all you get.
I just get the $7 after the YouTube cut.
Yeah, after Apple and Google take their cut. But thank you, Papa Hogue. And Hogue, I will tell you, in that vein, going back several months of videos and trying to figure out all this stuff, even from June, it was noticeable to now, like your progression. Like it's pretty remarkable, my friend, for real.
I believe it. I've only gone back and watched the February show where I came on, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so slow." So I can believe it.
Yeah,
we just watched those shows at 2 times speed.
Thank you, Papa Hogue. Midnight Jerry, thank you for the 1 membership over on Seasons Gaming side. Always generous. Thank you. Nice. And Debbie W. Debbie, I appreciate the super chat. You didn't have to super chat again to explain it for us, but I do sincerely appreciate it.
The $10 super chat. Debbie is back. The Back to the Future pack has Doc's van from the first game or movie in the parking lot. The DeLorean also in the 1985 parking lot. The 1955 clock tower.
Nice.
Movie theater from 2 and the train from 3.
That's pretty cool.
So no Biff though.
I will wash all of those things.
Yes.
You will.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's
Our wash simulator
you,
is surprisingly relaxing.
It is. It's cool.
I know a lot of people talk about playing that as their relaxing game. No joke. Yeah, it's crazy.
I said something popped in my head. I gotta stop playing Yakuza. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Debbie, thank you so much for the super chats today. All right,
You're
for
awesome.
real, we're gonna actually get into these categories now. So let me share my screen.
Let the games begin.
So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go category by category. Make sure we get this working properly. Let me get that off of there. How's that look? We good?
Beautiful.
Let's do our disclaimer.
Oh, no, we're just going down the list, though, so it's a lot easier.
Disclaimer one more time. These are not the things we think should win. These are the things we think will win.
Correct. And I'm going to have to be typing in a spreadsheet, so I'm going to go mostly on mute back and forth, so just bear with me here. I'll go.
This is like the middle of the nominees, right? What is your order?
It's the order in which I saved them off their website. So it's
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So just bear with me. I'll go first on all these, and then we're going to go Dan, Travis, Hogue. Dan, Travis, Hogue. So accessibility, I'm going to go, and I have no idea, to be honest with you, on any of these. So I'm going to go Spider-Man 2.
I will do the same.
I will also say Spider-Man 2.
Right. I'm after Travis. I have to remember this in my head. Ains, if you would, can you switch me and Travis in the vertical here? Just drag them.
Here you go.
Promotion.
I was also going to go with Spider-Man 2, and I don't have any idea what the accessibility features are of any of these. My basic rule when looking at these nominations is that if they got nominated, they passed whatever threshold was necessary to get the nomination in the category vis-a-vis the Game Awards, and then I try to think about the politics and what I know about these companies. And so Spider-Man 2 follows Sony kind of pitching their accessibility functions for a long time, especially with the Last of Us series, quite frankly. But I think that will bear fruit here again, because I think for the most part, the voters are going to be voting on this like we are, looking at it going, I don't know. But I know Sony is known for their accessibility, so I'll go with Spider-Man 2.
That was a lot to get to the
it's
same answer, my friend.
overwhelmingly like yeah. Well, he's right though. Once the nominations are done, it is like a lot of it's public opinion, and I think Spider-Man 2 just has clout with voters. So.
Yeah, because honestly, in all seriousness, I think Forza is a black sheep there, because Forza you can literally play. Like I know people with Paul, the gentleman Cerebral Paul, who has cerebral palsy, can play Forza and race competitively. Steve Saylor, the blind gamer, he can play Forza competitively. So like they've done a tremendous job in accessibility on the Xbox side as well. But I just think exactly what Hogue said. I think from a voting perspective, I think Spider-Man will win.
Yeah, nobody's going to vote for a car game, unfortunately.
Yep. Here's your fantastically categorized category here, which is action adventure, in which you get 4 of the Game of the Year nominees plus Star Wars.
This is I'm
gonna pick. Oh God, I'm gonna pick Zelda. I'm not even thinking about my picks. I'm just throwing darts.
I mean, yeah, at this point, this is basically what it is. I'm going to take Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
Whoa.
So my calculus here is that I think this was the only category Star Wars was nominated for, and I think some people, by the time they get to this category, are going to be tired of voting for Tears of the Kingdom and Spider-Man, and they're going to hit Star Wars just to freshen things up. Yeah.
You going Star Wars?
I'm going Star Wars. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Sorry for the couple clicks. Like I said, guys, I'm typing these in real time, so
you're fine.
You hear the clicks. I apologize.
Alan Wake 2.
All right.
Good choice.
I feel like Hogue's going to be on an Alan Wake 2 kick here. What do we got? Now we got the big separator. We go from action adventure to action, of course.
What a crazy category this is, by the way.
And this is, talk about throwing darts. I think that's what they did when they picked these.
I didn't look through these like at all, really.
Isn't this crazy, Dan? Just first reaction. Like Hi-Fi Rush is an action game. Remnant 2 is an action game, not an action. Yeah, action RPG.
Yeah, it's very odd. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm gonna go Armored Core 6 on this one.
All right, I'll do Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay.
I think Armored Core 6 is gonna win, but I just cannot bring myself to not select Remnant 2 for this category, so I'm going to select Remnant 2, and I'm probably going to lose on this one.
I'm going to select Armored Core 6, and I'm going to be voting for Dead Island 2.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Great category, VGAs. Good job. Best adaptation. Oh, believe me, we haven't even gotten to the ones that we're going to have no clue on yet. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to have to go. In my mind, it's going to be Mario or Last of Us.
Yeah, of course.
My heart says Mario. My logical side says Last of Us. I'm going Last of
opposite.
Us.
So I'm going to do Mario.
Okay. I'm going LOU. You're going Mario. Gotcha.
I'm going to go Mario as well.
Okay.
I'm going to go Last of Us. I think everybody on the panel has the exact right distinction. It's going to be Last of Us or Super Mario. I probably would say my favorite of this group is Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal was just fun. Like it was goofy as hell, but it was fun to watch.
It was.
My idea is, I think Mario just had more. Like I just remember it making a bigger splash, whether it's like the meme and the Jack Black song going viral, and I think
that's $1 billion movie. Yeah.
No, it's absolutely. I just tend to think that voters get into a mindset that said, well, The Last of Us is the serious thing, and Super Mario is just a cartoon from Illumination, which is good, but it's an Illumination cartoon. So that's what I think is going to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm already partially regretting my vote, but that's okay. Most anticipated game, which again, throwing darts here. I think for me it would be Like a Dragon, but of this list it would be Like a Dragon. But I think Star Wars is going to win this one.
Interesting.
Final Fantasy will by a long shot.
Me too.
You going Final Fantasy, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I were picking, I voted for Hades too, but I'm going to go Final Fantasy for my prediction.
Okay.
Star Wars Outlaws. My
Yes,
personal
sir.
is Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Nice.
Hades 2 is great. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that too.
I think Hades 2 will be great. It's just too ephemeral.
You're right. I don't think it's going to win the category. I think Final Fantasy will.
And by the way, how is Hollow Knight Silksong not on here? Like,
Because it was
nobody
supposed to be
believes it
out by the
exists.
time this category.
This will be out 2 years ago. That's what
come on. All right. Best AR VR. By the way, VR games only exist on PSVR 2, in case you didn't know.
By the way, this is an insane category right now. Like, this is unbelievable.
I don't know anything about any of these games at all.
That's what makes it fun. I think it's going to be GT7 or Synapse, but because Synapse is more unique and cool in the sense of VR, I'm going Synapse.
That's the only one I've heard of outside of, I've never heard of Humanity. And the other ones seem like just extensions of regular IPs. So I'll just do Synapse.
I honestly don't even know how Call of the Mountain's on here.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
That is a damn shame. But I actually think.
Sorry, Dan, what was your pick?
Synapse.
Synapse. Okay, sorry.
Unfortunately, I mean, obviously, I would not be voting for. God, this is such a terrible category. I think Resident Evil might win, but I'm actually going to take a chance on this one and say I think Humanity will win.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No matter who wins, humanity's not going to win.
Yeah. We all win.
True. That is fair. Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Synapse. I think
Okay.
Synapse probably is my favorite VR game, although it might be the little jigsaw puzzle game that I play often on the Sony VR2 to tell you how I've been interacting with that. Synapse is a lot of fun, so I'm going to go
Synapse
with Synapse.
is very cool.
Bet
Very
you we
well
will all get this one wrong, and it'll be Resident Evil.
No, I think Village has a good chance. If I had to pick one of the IP ones, I would say Village. Call of the Mountain, no way. I like Humanity. Humanity is a good puzzle game. It's very much Lemmings.
GT7 is extremely well done in VR. I will say that. I just don't know if
I don't
that's
think it'll
going
win.
to
I think it's got the same car game problem.
Yeah. Oh well. Best art direction. Sorry for the typing. I keep saying that. I know. I just feel bad. What do we got here? I'm going Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Alan Wake 2.
I'm gonna go. I'm between Hi-Fi Rush and Super Mario Wonder.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Super Mario Wonder.
Both beautiful games, honestly.
Yeah.
Wonder. Okay,
Alan
cool.
Wake 2. This might be the easiest vote I have today.
All right. That's our
I
direction.
do like how
Audio.
Super Mario Wonder looks.
Yeah.
I think maybe the panel's underestimating the Nintendo lobby when it comes to these voting bodies. Nintendo shows up. Man.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be the first time at all. This one was funny. I talked about this one the other day. So I haven't played Spider-Man 2, so I can't speak to that. I've played the other 4. It's a shame because Hi-Fi Rush obviously is based around audio, right? So you would like to think that kind of helps it a little bit, but in terms of audio design, like Dead Space was remarkable in terms of like its directional audio. Alan Wake 2's up there as well. Sadly, if I'm a betting man, I'm picking Alan Wake. I just think Alan Wake's going to sweep a lot of these awards, even though I don't necessarily think it's the best one in this category.
Man, now who votes on these, man? What about be the
people?
This isn't
it's like a percentage is people vote, and then a percentage is the panel vote, and then the panel vote is like 4-1 or something versus the people vote, something like that.
It's the people that came up with this nomination list. So use that.
So Alan Wake 2, then I will say that.
Okay.
Knowing that.
I'm also going to say Alan Wake 2, and I actually think it deserves the win in this case.
It's very good.
I don't know if you guys have played Alan Wake 2 with like headphones on, but it's got the whole like crazy 3D audio. I think that wins it.
Yeah.
I think this is where they give Hi-Fi Rush the award they clearly want to give it. So I'm going to go Hi-Fi Rush.
Okay. It'd be cool to see Hi-Fi Rush win this. I mean, it really would. But especially, like I said, given it being a rhythm game, kind of like you're playing with the sound in that game. So
Generally speaking, I think of audio design as a horror game kind of category because that's where you get the creaks and the sounds.
Yeah.
But I think Hi-Fi Rush is going to get an award, and I think this is the most likely one.
Yeah. P3 Trans says 90% panel, 10% people. That's right. It's a joke to say people vote. It's true. Yeah, I mean, it's not really.
There's like
best community support,
people, but yeah.
which is
Destiny.
This is another tremendous category of nominees here, which seems again just thrown together in some
so
sort
vague.
of.
What the hell does that even mean?
Oh, I can give you their description. Hang on.
Okay,
Yeah.
please.
You do have.
I have like 19 tabs open, but I don't have their site open. So if one of you can do that, that'd be great.
I can get that. Yeah. So the community support, Dan, is described as recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates patches. So it's both the development of the game and how they interact with you on Twitter.
Oh, then Baldur's Gate 3 is my answer. Sorry, I skipped you, Haynes.
No, you're fine, dude. I'm debating between Final Fantasy 14 and Baldur's Gate 3. The weird thing here, right, is if you think about these games, you've got a full MMO. You've basically got an MMO in Destiny. You've got an early access for 3 years RPG. You've got an ongoing, whatever you want to call No Man's Sky. And then you've got a single player RPG in Cyberpunk. It's just a weird mix of games.
That's
they are all companies that do a great job with community. They have good community, or at least in Destiny's case, they used to have a good community.
They used to, yeah. I remember Liana. I saw Liana's post when she saw this, just laughing. I'm like,
could you
imagine being part of that team? Like, you're up for best community support, and you were just fired. Like, what?
They let go of like 70% of their community support.
Terrible.
That is now an award-winning community support group or award
nominated.
Yeah. Well, I think they won last year too, or they were nominated a few years. Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Baldur's Gate's probably the obvious. I'm gonna go Final Fantasy just to mix it up. And Dan said Baldur's Gate. I got you.
I actually think Final Fantasy is going to win this one, and I again think that they actually do deserve it.
Okay, sweet.
I think Destiny 2 is going to win because I think there will be a move to shame Bungie on this from
That's
the
fair.
voters. So I'm
that
going
could
to
very well happen. I think they won't want to give Bungie accolades in the wake of the layoffs because they know that award and the credit is going to go to the studio today. You know what I mean?
And that's very possible. I think the most kind of intuitive feeling is that obviously it's the one that can't win, but I think it might go the other direction. So I'm gonna say Destiny 2 is the winner. Personally, by the way, mine would be Diablo 4 on this. That's
a great call out.
Yeah, I don't know why Diablo's not listed here.
Out of this nomination list, I'm gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 would be what I'm rooting for. I love Larry.
Okay, you just said like 4 games, so Destiny 2 is your pick. Okay, gotcha.
It's also weird when they have like their standard rule of like 6 games get nominated, and then they only choose 5.
Dude,
like,
I said that exact thing on Cast Co-op, Travis. I'm like, why? They have so many games to pick from. Why do some categories have 5 and some have 6?
Yeah,
like
it's like really
it
Diablo didn't make the cut.
I assume they have a percentage threshold, right? Like there's no point in nominating 6 if it doesn't get to 10% or whatever.
Yeah, they have like a certain number of people have to nominate it, and if it doesn't show up enough, then they just don't add it to the list.
Then I would say that further demonstrates the hallway view that the panel has.
It's more like if you choose, like if you were like, hey, what are the top 3 games for each category, and you only had 3 options, and then you and 10 people did that, and your overlap was like 90%, then you know what I mean? Like if you're choosing your top 3, the odds of there being 6 different options that appear a lot is pretty low. So I think it's something like that where it's just a flawed system, man. I don't really get how this works.
I'm with you. Content. I don't know a single one of these people. So we're probably in the same camp, I would presume.
I mean, I've interacted with one of them.
Okay. I quite literally, I'm not joking. I've never heard of any of these.
Nope.
Not even once. So
that's a good one.
I'm going to go.
Don't even seem like words. It seems like they just pulled sounds out of a hat. All of these could be the names of Nintendo's next console. The Nintendo screen, absolutely.
The quackity,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh my
Guys,
god!
I just got the OLED quackity. It's really cool.
yeah, for sure, dude. It's so good.
I'm just gonna go Iron Mouse because it's not a real picture. We're gonna go with it.
Aiden's voting on anime pictures.
Voting on anime. I'm assuming anime is gonna win in some strange way.
What do you got for us, Dan?
I have no freaking clue. Spreen, because
Spreen.
I mean, it looks like
Travis?
a picture from like.
gonna
You've
go
been having
people
issues
make-
with your screen, Dan.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
My
gonna go.
screen
People
is
make
toast.
games because I agree with that statement.
I'm also going to say it's people make games. They tend to be
Okay.
a little bit more activist in their creation. I tend to think that plays well with the folks that
idea.
vote on this. So people make games.
Okay. All right. Fair
See,
enough.
he's playing the odds. Hoag's voting
He
smart
knows his
here.
stuff down there.
Yeah, I'm
man.
just throwing darts, and he's over here making calculations.
You gotta know the audience. I know the audience. Hoag gets it.
Best debut indie game, which is different from best indie game, by the way. So just
Crazy.
deal with that as you see
Bold
fit.
choice to have two indie game categories. I like it.
Oh, clearly, by the way, I just realized, you know how it's sorted these, Hoag? It's just alphabetical. That's what
Oh, okay.
the computer did.
Now, I have
so-
my own back here because I like to do my homework for these shows, be prepared, and it's not this order. So
Yeah, gotcha.
Maybe tough, man.
Debut indie. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Cocoon on this one.
I will also Cocoon because
it's
it's
a
the only one
stretch
I've
for
heard of.
debut, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
either Cocoon
completely
or
agree.
Pizza Tower, and I know Pizza Tower has a lot of support by the people that I know who are voting.
Who
I feel
like
like
pizza?
that statement's going to be on a montage after this game award. So,
No, I mean, I think it'll either be
Right.
Cocoon or Pizza Tower, but the people I'm thinking of are voting, and I know that they really like Pizza Tower, so I'm in between those two.
Mitch adores Pizza Tower.
Yeah, he does. I'm gonna go with Cocoon. I don't think Pizza Tower has enough. I don't think enough people played it.
And I'll vote for Dredge.
Dredge.
Okay, so 3
Oh.
Cocoons and a Dredge.
I think you're voting from your feelings on that one, Hoag.
I
Maybe
think
that
it's
one
the
will
better
win?
game.
Yeah, but you think it'll win?
Do I think it will win? Yes, I just said that.
All right.
Okay, all right, Dredge.
I think you're voting
yeah.
from your
our-
feelings, bro. it's tough.
by the
I
way,
did
if
it too
you
in a
didn't
couple
know,
of
Hoag, Dredge got an expansion this week. So
I didn't. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It's the ice one. Yeah. No, I
Yep.
look, Dredge. I probably am voting for my feelings. Dredge is one of the first games that I could play at all because it doesn't require a lot of left-hand interaction. I love kind of Elder God Cthulhu junk, and this is the first time that it's really been incorporated in a way that feels authentic to that feeling of narrative. So I like Dredge a lot.
cool game.
Yeah. I've heard great things about Vemba as well. I've heard it's only about 3 hours you can finish it, but it's kind of really wholesome. So yeah.
Cocoon is also only 3 hours, by the way. If you have not played it, it's worth 3 hours for sure.
Yeah, if
Cool.
you're blowing through Talos Principle, you can beat Cocoon in 3 hours. It's not my experience, Travis.
Vintage
Damn,
Will said it's funny you're talking about these streamers. Willow said she's never heard of these streamers.
Smart. I think I'm allowed to insult you for you're too damn smart.
Yeah, fair.
I've never heard that insult.
You're
I
too
was
damn
trying
smart,
to,
Dan.
I was trying to say that Willow said never. She said she'd never heard of these streamers either, and her kid comes in and knows all of them. So
That is how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid
Debut-
knows all about Spreen.
Best game direction. So
Do you want a description of this, Dan?
What does it say? Yeah, give me
Go.
a quick one.
I can pull these up. It just takes a second because they've got all this kind of, I'm going to say flash animation. I'm probably out of date, but it's
Flash.
You are out
outstanding.
of date. Flash isn't even a thing anymore.
It's outstanding creative vision and innovation in direction and design. So what's really creative?
All right.
yeah, I'm going Alan Wake 2.
I'm going to go Baldur's Gate 3.
Alan
Okay.
Wake 2.
Alan Wake 2. And I've adjusted this to be the easiest pick of the day.
That is the easiest one, I think. Yeah.
I think Dan's love for Baldur's Gate 3 got him on that one, but we'll see.
He didn't play.
Well, Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, is
No, I'll
going to
finish
win a
both
lot
of
of
them.
awards. So,
Yeah,
all right, boys, it's time to get serious.
It
All right.
So
is.
which one of these was one? Oh no, that was coach. Okay, never mind. Was one of these disqualified himself, right? And
They
the-
took it
Yeah, I'll
off.
call that out when we get to it. Yep.
All right,
I'll
cool.
call it
Yeah,
out.
well, I'm going to vote for him anyway. So,
I would love that.
yeah.
I again don't know any of these people. The only thing I do know that I have seen is that Faker from League of Legends is considered like a literal legend. Like he's like an all-time great. So I'm going with him.
Okay. I have no frame of reference. Ruler. I'm gonna go with the other League of Legends guy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
give me their actual screen
Park
name. That's what I'm putting
Ruler
in.
Jai Hyuk. I don't know how to say that.
It's probably Yay Hook,
Yehuk.
maybe.
I think League
Yeah,
of
that guy.
Legends still has the biggest esports following, so I think it's got to be one of those two. I'm gonna go with Faker.
Faker. Okay.
My working thesis is that this is Valorant's year. I'm going with
Okay.
Demon 1.
Going with Demon. Okay.
That's a pretty good guess. Valorant.
Yeah, Valorant is big.
blowing up this
no
year.
doubt.
Yeah. This is where I lose the whole thing. Crashing down around me.
Don't worry, we got more in this category, my friend. We got
What do you
esports
do?
coach. By the way, the XTQZZZ guy is the guy who said he didn't even coach this year. So why is he listed? So I would
Yeah.
not pick him.
Put me down for him.
Mm.
Because I think people are going to be like, no, we're going to vote for him now.
How do you
For
pronounce that?
But remember, it's only 10% per people vote. So
It's all right.
I'm going to go. I don't know any of these people. I'll go with Hoag's theory that it's Valorant year, and I'll go with Christine Potterchi.
This is why I don't explain myself, folks.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go for Potter.
You guys are.
Because I know Evil Geniuses is just doing well in general. So
Yep.
Are you seriously going for the guy that's not there, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw me on there. I'll take an L on this one. It's all right. Maybe I'll
might win. Maybe
you never know.
they'll troll vote.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, I think anything that gets referenced prior to the vote is got a chance because these lists are going to be people guessing.
Can I ask you guys something? What does a coach do?
They coach.
They literally coach.
You ever seen a sports team?
Yeah, I know that. This is not real sports.
No,
These are
basically,
Whoa!
They-
First of all,
I'm not going to back down from
how
that.
dare
one.
you?
No.
Second of all, you're right. Third of all, go watch Players, the show. It's
Hmm,
great.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
I'll watch
oh,
it.
you have recommended that multiple times, and I
You
still
guys
haven't
need to
watched
watch it.
Damn it.
It's damn good.
Hoag,
The one
who you
about the
going with? I'm
basketball
sorry.
relationships on CW.
Hoag?
Potter.
Potter.
Okay, same as okay. Gotcha. Basically, Dan, they study the play of the teams that they're going up against. They'll call out things they notice. They'll call out things in real time. So they're actually on the mic while the team is in the match, so they can call out things they're noticing the other team's doing or players are doing wrong. Like it's all very real
Seems like
time.
to me. Like, hey, the guy's around the corner. Don't go around that corner. I feel like that's not really sports. It's,
Okay.
It's like sign stealing. When they do that in football.
Well, I mean, they can't see like an angle the other players can't see. They're just making people aware.
Dan, did you just say like sign stealing?
That was just for you, buddy.
We're not talking about Michigan and their cheating ways. Come on.
Killing me.
I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
We know Michigan cheats. We'll just move on from it. Come on.
No.
The event.
There's another
Esports
thing.
event. What do we got here? We got Lee. See, Ho, you got in my head with the Valorant thing now because I would have said League of Legends, and now I'm thinking Valorant.
Say what you feel, Ains.
Say what I feel. Well, you don't want me to do that. I'm going to go with League of Legends. Just going with the heart. League of Legends. Because that's my son's favorite game too. So that one's for him.
Again, don't care, don't know. Dota 2. We'll do that one.
Dota. All right.
I will be pretty surprised if Evo does not win this. I'm going to vote Evo.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I explained what my thesis was, so I'll vote for the Valorant champions.
Wow, that's the first category where we have 4 different picks. That's cool.
Perfect.
I like that. By the way, Gracefully Insane, which may or may not be appropriate here, says the level of complexity for strategy in some of these games is easily more than many of the more traditional sports people think of.
I have no doubt.
it is. I just said, don't care.
Well, good thing
Great.
for you. We have another esports category.
Great. Put me down for Dota 2 again. There you go.
Would you stop jumping in front of me?
I can't.
You son of a.
That's what I get. Things I hate it.
What do we got? Fatality, JD Gaming, Evil Geniuses. I'm gonna go Evil Geniuses on this one. What do you got, Dan?
Dota 2.
Going by the
Gladiators. Okay. I just put Glad. Got it.
This one's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna go Evil Geniuses as well.
Okay.
As am I. Evil Geniuses.
Wow.
And to those in the chat saying they've gotten some bad press, I know. I think any press is useful for a list like this.
Yep, me too.
I recognize Evil Geniuses as a team. That I cannot say for everybody on this list.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What?
Best family game.
All right.
Lol, this category.
I know this is a weird one.
Unbelievable.
I think I just have to go Wonder on this one. Yeah, I'm going Wonder.
All right, I will too.
I'd love for it to be something like Party
Wonder.
Animals. I just don't see it winning. Excuse me.
And when in doubt,
my
go for the
heart
game
wants
that's nominated
Pikmin
for
4.
Game of the Year. Wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
The heavyweight in the group of just pushovers for them to knock over.
Yeah.
I think
And
out
I mean,
of my
it's got-
list here, I would be inclined to give Illusion Island some credit. I really like that game for my family. And I don't view Wonder as a specifically good family game, but I think Wonder's the choice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Fighting game. Sifu, right? Is that what we're going with?
Sifu 2.
Oh, God, oh, fuck.
Let's see here. I think I have to go. As much as I prefer Mortal Kombat, and I've heard good things about All-Star Brawl 2, which is ridiculous. They released that after releasing a broken first game. I think I have to go Street Fighter 6 here.
I'll go with Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you
Is
can.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 from Insomniac Games, Sony Interactive Entertainment? Doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so. I think it's Warner Brothers, isn't it?
No, I think it was made by
No, published though. I think it's published by Warner Brothers, isn't it? Someone look that up. I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry. I got too many things
I'm going to
open.
pull up their other card. It's Ludosity, Fair Play Labs, and Game Mill.
It's Game Mill.
Game Mill.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's what I thought it was, because that's the only game that they
By the-
published, the first one that is not on like the Metacritic shit list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's actually rated very highly, which is probably why it's here. But the funny thing is I pulled these directly from thegameawards.com. So
It doesn't look like you photoshopped that in, Ains. I was just like,
no, it's hilarious. I didn't even notice that, but what you got here?
They forgot to remove the Spider-Man too.
Yeah.
Published.
My
There's
answer is
Sony
that-
bias coming through on every slide.
Mm-hmm.
My answer is Mortal Kombat 1.
Nice.
Ooh. We got an
My
even
heart
split
wants
between Mortal Kombat and
1,
Street
but
Fighter.
I don't think they'll win.
Agree with you, Travis. Games for impact. You may want to read what this means. So
I can do that. I will warn you that it uses language that I was not familiar with, and I had to ask Twitter what it meant.
That's the description.
But its description is a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Not positive social meaning or message, pro-social.
pro-social.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, well, that makes a big difference because I was going to go with Chia or whatever the hell that was.
It's just Chia.
No.
You just don't pronounce the T.
The Chia.
No,
Hey,
just,
listen, it's T'Challa. Why isn't it Chia?
Well,
I'm just going by what they said in the video. I don't know.
That's stupid.
By the way, you jumped in front of me again.
I didn't say Chia. I said I
Dan
was going to
goes
go with
first.
Chia. Now I have no idea because you screwed everything up, man.
Yeah, don't put this on me. Don't put this on me. I don't know half of these games. I'm just gonna go with Vemba because I've heard great things.
Great.
okay, Travis, what do you got for us?
I'm gonna go Goodbye Volcano High.
Okay, Dan, what are you picking?
I
Sorry.
don't care. Terra Nil.
I wish it was Terranil, but I don't think
Okay,
it's
so again,
like
my thesis on this is once you've made the list, I don't have to determine like what level of impact you have or what your message is. So I view all of these as whatever satisfies the threshold here, and Terranil is the best game on the board. So Terranil.
There we go.
Okay.
Terra Nil is the best game. I don't think it's going to get voted for, though. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be happy to lose this category.
It wouldn't surprise me if Chants of Senar wins, but I think Terra Nil is what I'd like to see win, and I'm going to vote for it because I want to.
Thank you.
There you go. Fair enough. By the way, where was Bluey on the Family Game? Come on.
It didn't make the cut. It just came out.
I know.
Got 6. Why is
it was a joke to the earlier part of the show. Sorry. Game of the year. I'm not going to ask Travis on this one because he'll get it wrong, I'm sure.
I love this order. Yep. All right, let's do game of the year.
Game of the year. Yeah, I mean, this is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not sure anything else has
Baldur's Gate 3.
a chance.
I am also voting Baldur's Gate 3 as the winner. I think my personal winner is Alan Wake 2.
Me too. I voted for Alan Wake 2, but I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win.
I understand.
I think Resident Evil 4 takes a surprise win. Let's do it, boys. Come on.
That is not your official vote.
That's coming from Ashley over here.
Hey, you're dressed up like it. If you don't even believe in him right now, take off that wig, damn it.
Hey.
You have to dress up like Asterion.
Yeah.
The only reason we're not going to win is because these awards are
I'll dress up like a bear.
Umbrella funds these awards. That's why.
Travis will dress up like a druid bear.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that.
Who's going to be on the camera with him? By the way, we've got another independent game category here in case you needed a second.
By the way, this is
with
also one of the worst categories.
with half of the same nominations.
There's literally no way in which you can have Dave the Diver here and not Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
I know they. Yes, I did. I did. I know they've gotten a lot of crap for Dave the Diver being on here and, funded by Nexon, but I think it's got a good chance to win it just in terms of the quality of the game from what everyone tells me, including you, Travis.
Dave the Diver is great. This is insanity here for independent.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to see a star.
How is Larian not independent?
Yeah. I'm going Hitman 3. Keep it up there. Now give me Sea of Stars as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stand your ground, boy.
No,
you had Dave the Diver on Game of the Year list.
I said Dave the Diver should win Game of the Year, but I didn't say because it's a great indie game. It's not an indie game. It does not deserve to be on this list. And in this case, I think the bad press around that is going to hurt its vote. I think people are going to be like, oh, if they heard good things about Dave the Diver, everyone at this point has heard that it's not an indie game, even if they didn't know that before. So I think they're going to be like, no. I'm also going to vote for Sea of Stars.
Okay.
See, and I knew Dredge was nominated for Best Independent Game, Travis. So
Black Salt.
There you go.
What you got?
I'm again going to go with any press is good press on these. So Dave the Diver.
No way.
I would personally vote for Sea of Stars.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. He's going for it.
I don't think that's going to work out for you. But
philosophy
bold move.
Oh, man.
All right. Mobile, my favorite category that I've never touched. What do we got here? Let me look. Okay, I've heard of a couple of these. No, actually, I've heard of all these except for I've heard of Star Rail actually. Okay,
these are all
I have
really popular.
Yeah, very, really popular.
Netflix. I honestly don't know what to go with here. I'm gonna go with Monster Hunter. Screw it. I'll do that one for Elu. That's for you, Elu. Voting for a Monster Hunter game.
I'm going with Honky.
Honky.
Yep. Honky.
Star Rail is my vote as well, and I think it deserves it.
Star Rail is great. I'm once again going to vote for the best game in front of me, and that's Terra Nil.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Apparently, my vote was stupid, but that's fine.
I will say in Hogue House, Hello Kitty Island Adventure is the easy winner here.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Best multiplayer sponsored by Discord.
What?
Love that.
I might need help understanding this category.
Whoa.
I can get you the description.
That's not going to help. I promise you.
These are the games with the best multiplayer.
What?
That's going to be the description. I guarantee you.
These are games that you can play with more than one person.
Outstanding multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op, massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform.
Irrespective of common sense.
Irrespective if it actually is multiplayer. Got you.
I seriously don't even know what to pick here. I'll be honest. I'm going to choose Diablo just because I want to see it. Screw it.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be my pick, I guess.
Okay.
I think Diablo 4 might win here because, again, I think by the time people get to this category, they're going to be sick of clicking on other ones, and I think it might deserve it in this category, honestly. So I'm going to get Diablo 4.
I'm going to say Street Fighter 6.
Wow. Okay.
I think people think of fighting games as multiplayer experiences, and I think it's the only one on the list.
It does have a good chance of winning. It also has extremely tight online multiplayer, which is really cool.
Best narrative, Hoag's favorite category, and I'm sure they nailed all the games here.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
It might win it.
Oh my god!
Look at this! Look at that Spider-Man 2 sitting there. It's crazy. It's the craziest nominee in the entire thing.
I'm going Alan Wake 2.
Man, how does that even get on there?
Spider-Man 2 might have the clunkiest narrative of any Insomniac game I've ever played.
It's not great. And this is from a guy who loves Spider-Man more than many other things. I'm not sure it even stands up to any of these. It doesn't, for sure. Who I think is going to win? Give it to Final Fantasy because I don't think it's gotten anything yet.
God, I would give Final Fantasy 16 so many awards, but not narrative.
I thought it was good.
Me too. I'm going to go Alan Wake 2 for this one. I think this is like the consolation prize for Alan Wake not winning Game of the Year.
I think the game that has a narrative about narrative is going to win. Alan Wake 2.
Yep.
Okay. Best ongoing game. I have complaints with this one, but then again, we have complaints with almost all of them. So,
Cyberpunk 2 sits out there like a crazy entry. It's not ongoing at all.
Didn't realize it was ongoing.
No,
it might have been news to the developer. They're like, "We're ongoing."
It's such a weird category. Like I obviously get Fortnite, obviously get Final Fantasy 14, right? Apex, they do a great job over there at Respawn. But like I said on cast, like 2 games, like I've heard about WoW, like I said earlier, a large number of times from a lot of people in the work they've done. So it's kind of weird that you don't see WoW here. And I'm biased, I know that, but I would seriously, given this year, just 2023, Halo's got to be on here, man. Especially because they delivered Forge, which is like, there's nothing like it in the industry. Like, there's literally nothing like it that matches it. Never mind everything else they've done this year. So I don't know.
Well, you know me, I'm not a big Halo fan, but my impression is that Halo deserves to be on here.
Yeah, they've
what about
done
Diablo 4.
Diablo is another one. Like, yeah, there's much more deserving games than Cyberpunk.
This would have to be something that was like released.
No, it's
like a year.
It doesn't have to be released this year. No, it's ongoing game. Yeah, it's just live service delivery, basically, Dan.
It is.
I think this category is specifically made for games that were not released this year, which is probably why Diablo is not on there. But it's like the fact that they're already on there second. Yeah.
Cyberpunk shouldn't be here. Genshin, I'm not educated enough. I know it's really popular, so I don't know, but I feel like WoW, Halo, even Diablo, to your point, are misses here. But anyway, sorry, I didn't pick. I will pick. I'm just gonna pick Fortnite, just because.
I'll pick Final.
What do you got, Dan?
Final Fantasy.
I'm also gonna go Final Fantasy, and I think it also deserves it.
Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm a lone wolf on that one. Best performance.
Can I object to an entry here?
You can object to whatever you like.
Can I guess which one you're going to object to?
I quite like Saga Anderson in Alan Wake 2, but she does not sound like she's from Virginia or anywhere else in the United States.
Virginia.
It's a problem for large swaths of the game. So she's an interesting nominee. I can't imagine why Alan Wake himself wasn't nominated, except that they didn't know what to do with the fact that he was dubbed. But Alan Wake is the right choice. He's not on here, so I'll let. I'm last, so I'm gonna go first, like I'm supposed to.
Oh man!
For my benefit, Neil Newbin. Who does he play in Baldur's Gate?
Asterion.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most annoying character.
How could they not include the character names? That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird too. Yeah, I have no idea who to pick on this one. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I'm just gonna choose Elba because I like him. So screw it.
Okay, you can. Nobody's ever gone terribly wrong by picking the biggest star on this list.
Yeah, exactly. He's the biggest star, so I'm going with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Neil.
Neil, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to moneyball this one. I know that this person has a lot of clout with people who are in games journalism and the games industry.
You're going to say what I'm going to say.
You tried this with your game of the year list and it didn't work, Travis. So
it did work though.
Pick.
I got all the all my insider predictions right, like Diablo 4. I'm gonna go Ben
Star.
I'm
going to say because I think that this guy has been working the group for. a year.
Ben Starr has definitely been working it.
I think it's Ben Starr. Sure. I think he's gonna win, and I think it's because people in the industry like him.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Through the various character-based commentators all year. So Ben Starr.
It's a good pick. Good pick. Best art. I couldn't even finish saying it without laughing. Best RPG.
This is effing believable.
Oh goodness gracious. You know, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna win. Yes. I feel like I feel like Starfield is there as like a we put it somewhere type of thing. Liza P, I don't know what's happening. Final Fantasy 16, don't get me started on. Literally, I stopped playing Final Fantasy 16 because it's a bad RPG.
Not an RPG.
Not an RPG.
Yeah.
Liza P and
that's what I mean. Like it's supposed to be an RPG, but it's not.
Do you want to hear the description of RPG and we'll talk about Final Fantasy 16 because you're gonna laugh. Let me see if I can pull this up. All right, so the award is supposed to go to the best game designed with rich player character customization and progression.
Oh,
even less realistic Final Fantasy. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. All right, with that said,
that's great. Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, like the fact that Liza P and Final Fantasy 16 are on here is ridiculous. I think they did not describe what the categories were supposed to be when people were nominating these. And the fact that Remnant 2 isn't on here makes me very upset. Because I would say they're even more of an RPG than an action game. Baldur's Gate 3.
I'd probably have Remnant and action adventure, but yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, the obvious choice here. Final Fantasy 16, I probably would have had winning action adventure, but it's not an RPG.
No, definitely not. Score and music.
This is surprisingly tough.
This is tough.
Yeah, it's another one where you think Hi-Fi Rush would make a good swing at this one, given the game, right? And its design.
That's why I gave him audio.
Yeah, I'd like to think it could play here, but I think that this year, again, given the implementation of it, I don't know. I think Alan Wake wins this one. I'm going with Alan Wake.
Man, it's between that and Baldur's Gate. I think there's just like
did
there's
you
too
play
many
Final
moments.
Fantasy, Dan?
Yeah, I did. Finish it.
It's by far the best category for Final Fantasy 16 to win is music.
That might be true, but I still think Baldur's Gate 3 is better. Just there's just too many moments, too many musical scores that, for me anyway. I mean, there's one in particular that most people will probably figure out if they ever actually play it and get through more than one act. That it just hits like nothing has ever hit in a video game for me. So with that, I will go with Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice.
But I liked Alan Wake's a lot too. So
yeah, I just think implementation there may drive it. I'd like to see Hi-Fi Rush win, but
yeah, I don't know.
What you got, Travis?
I think Alan Wake 2 will win this one.
Oh. Alan Wake 2, but it's hard for me to pick over Final Fantasy 16.
It should be Final Fantasy 16, but I just think Alan Wake 2 is gonna win this one.
Gotcha. Oh, my favorite category.
Jesus Christ. You're still doing this, huh?
Sports and racing.
It's racing in a sport.
You gotta love a category that has a soccer simulation and a Hot Wheels game.
Yep. We're off and running here. I wish that Forza would have been good enough, in my opinion, to be here. Sadly, I think it missed on some fronts. I like Crew. I think Hot Wheels is good. I honestly, believe it or not, I think F123 wins this.
Yes, chat. Dan is definitely talking about Raphael.
Yeah, I'm definitely talking about Raphael. I don't know. None of them. Forza. Let's go with that. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I think Ains, it doesn't really matter in this category because let's be honest, probably most of the people voting for this category did not play these games.
Yeah, this is pure branding.
Yeah,
Forza
Motorsport, 100%.
Forza Motorsport. My pick would be Crew Motorfest.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Okay.
Sports/racing.
Here we
this
go,
is my
boys.
least favorite category.
Here we
This
go.
is an atrocious category.
This is a tire fire on a train wreck going over a cliff.
Yeah. First of all, sim and strategy games are so different. They should not be in the same category. I would say this is even worse than sports/racing. And 3 of these games should not be on this list in any. They're the top 3. Advanced Wars, City Skylines 2, and Company of Heroes 3 should not be here. And you're missing so many good games in these genres that should be
Age
on this
of
list.
Wonders 4, Jagged Alliance 3, Galactic
Dune Spice Wars.
War Tales.
Dude, yeah. So like this category really pisses me off, and I'm gonna say Fire Emblem Engage.
I like that segue.
I'm gonna say Company of Heroes just because. Sure, I don't care.
Yeah,
Dan, what you got?
I don't know. City Skylines.
Skylines. Okay. You're saying
Pikmin
Fire Emblem.
4.
And
Wow,
oh, no, another category with 4 picks. Okay.
I'm gonna win
gonna
this
go with
one.
Nintendo
I'm pretty
Block.
confident about this. I'm gonna win this
Listen,
one.
you know who doesn't win this one? Anybody that actually has a sim strategy.
Players.
Yeah, players. Really anyone.
You don't like sim strategies?
No. I'm just saying these are not.
Oh yeah, no. This is a slap in the face to that entire community.
Yes.
Pikmin's a great
Terrible.
game.
Pikmin
That's it, boys. We did it.
Pikmin and Fire Emblem should be on the list,
Oh,
but
miracle.
the other 3 are ridiculous. It's crazy.
First
All
of
right,
all,
well-
Jeff needs to rename his show to the Console Game Awards. And then he needs to get people that actually play some of these games.
I don't want to crap too much on the people getting involved in the nomination because I think they're doing their best. Like if you were
Sure.
nominated, there would certainly be categories like esports where you're like, I don't know enough about this, and you'd have to do research or ask your kid or whatever. The problem is, from my perspective, is that they simply onboard people and get them to they get them to vote in every category rather than getting experts for each of those categories, which is what I would do. Like I would get trusted people in the industry who know a lot about strategy and sims, and I would just have them nominate and vote for that category. And instead they just have people vote for all the categories. And I think that's kind of the problem.
Like the Oscars, they have their guilds nominate, and then the whole academy votes for the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about that at SG this week, and it's just like as we always joke about, there's way too many games that release, and there's way too many games to play, right? So they're just even looking at our small panel here of 4 people, we play all different games, and you can't really speak intelligently unless you've played some of these games. And some of these games, as we know, are very, very long games, and it's frustrating. Like I said, it's like hallway-minded picks in these categories. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you keeping track at home, you might have noticed that I gave no wins to Final Fantasy 16, despite being one of my favorite games of the year. I think that's just how it shook out, but it's sad.
No, you did. Ongoing. Oh, Final Fantasy 14. Sorry, that's 14. Yep.
14 is not the same as 16, although
Yeah.
I can see why anybody would get confused.
It's a better game.
You know why? Because I have FF on my spreadsheet here, so I thought that was 16, but it's fine. Okay. So that's our full bet. I've got it tracked here. We will obviously revisit that in 3 weeks time. So Game Awards December 7th, I believe. So
Yep.
Okay. Well, boys, with some really, really good news here that I know you're excited about, we have a confirmed remaster of The Last of Us 2. You've been waiting to play it. It's very, very dated if you play it today.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to play. You know, it came out so long ago that I think it's about time they did this and pulled through on it. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty happy that Naughty Dog is utilizing
I
the resources to
cannot
the best of their ability.
believe that they are doing this. Crazy, dude. It's crazy.
They've remastered a game that
I
came
was
out
on-
3
wasn't I-
years ago. 3
Wasn't
years.
I on this show when this game came out? Or am I making that up?
It was
Probably
COVID, right?
close. It's probably
Like they were
close.
one of the
It's probably
first
close.
COVID releases.
Mm.
Came out 2020. So
Okay. No, so I think I wasn't on the show yet.
yeah, I don't
How
honestly
long
know.
have I been
Time
on
gets
this
away
show?
from
Did
me,
we,
so I don't.
do we
I don't.
do anniversaries? Did any of us get anniversary
No,
recognition?
Andy doesn't celebrate us.
No,
He
it's-
makes
fair.
snarky
I
videos.
yeah, I celebrate you guys. Just
He
I'm
makes-
not an
he makes
anniversary or
snarky
birthday
videos.
guy. Come on.
Never celebrated, never paid. This is I don't know. What are we doing here? Where's our remaster?
I got to tell you, we've
It's a
spoken
big
in
cast
this space-
remastered.
We've spoken in this space about concerns about consolidation and Microsoft taking on all of these developers and what that looks like and whether they can use those assets properly. I got to tell you, the real story of this generation to me is Sony completely wasting all this creative talent. Naughty Dog is going to go to pasture for an entire generation from the
It
looks
might
of
be a
it.
good thing, man. At this point,
I mean,
they're getting a little long-winded.
I would love to see them do something new and interesting rather than just the old and not interesting. But I mean, it's not going to change. You've got Neil Druckmann winning a Life Award this coming season. You've got Sony going through the motions on most of the stuff that they're doing. We're not even talking today about the Portal, I don't think. So I would love to be a better Sony fan. They have not given me a lot of hooks to hang my hat on. I need hooks.
You have a lot of hats.
I have a lot of hats.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat on this one. I mean, obviously, this has been long rumored and leaked a while ago. Just so you have the official details, it's got graphical improvements. It's in 4K now. It works with the DualSense. The big thing, I think, is that they added a survival mode, like supposedly like a roguelike, which you play through. It's got a couple extra levels on it that were previously unreleased and developer commentary. Obviously,
Yeah,
the one night.
More bloated.
Yeah, it needs to be longer. The one thing I will give them credit for, not that it really deserves credit, but the one thing I will say that's nice is that if you own The Last of Us 2, like I think all of us do and many people do, you can upgrade to this for $10.
That's not a credit. That's give it to me for free, man. Free.
I know. But it's better than the alternative, which they've done before, which is just say, here's a new release for $70, and it's not really.
Like there with The Last of Us. Literally, you have to pay like $40 or something.
This is an HBO play, right? I mean, like that's all this is.
Yeah.
Get ready.
It comes out in comes out in January 19th, I believe. Sorry, I'm trying to get the details for you as we're talking here. January 19th.
January, yeah.
Yeah, and they are also doing the same thing they did with Last of Us 1 remake, which has like a Firefly edition. There's a boxed edition with a steelbook, etc. For
Are you going to
$100.
take a leap on that, Ains?
Yeah.
I want the steelbook because I'm not even a Last of Us 2 fan, as you guys know. I have a ton of Last of Us collectibles. I want the steelbook. I'm literally going to buy it separately. I'm not buying that collector's edition.
When was the last time you had yours just all smashed up and stuff? I think.
Oh man, that was like the
That was
craziest thing. Yeah, that went viral. The millions of views, and yeah. So I have 3 of those now, by the way. 3 of those original Fireflies. But anyway, yeah, this is just odd. It was kind of a shame to see this confirmed. We knew it was coming, but it's just like, what are you guys doing over there, man? Like,
I can't imagine that this is their entire team working on.
No, it's probably
this.
not.
So
but it's
probably
just,
a small section. But with that being said, we have no idea what else they're doing, or really any other studio over there for that reason.
well, they've teased Last of Us 3, so I hope you're excited for that one.
At this point,
it's just a shame. To Hoag's point, Naughty Dog is a pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Celebrated studio, right?
Deservedly so. Last of Us Part 2 has some of the best art I've ever seen, and it has a lot of good creative people putting their time and effort into it. It's a shame it's for a story that wasn't vetted past the first half draft, but that's the state of the world now.
Yeah. I won't go on my Last of Us 2 rant. I've done it too many times. But that game ruined a lot of things for me. So it is what it is. That's January 19th. If you want to upgrade to it, it's $10. I know there are people looking forward to this. I know there's a lot of people looking forward to this. I've spoken to some of if you like the game, great. I mean, yeah, enjoy it. I hope it's good. But it is, to I think all of our points, a little frustrating to just see this continued kind of remake remaster stuff that really doesn't need it. I mean, Last of Us 2 is a gorgeous game. Come on.
It is gorgeous.
So.
And it's a PS5 game, right? Like it was a.
It's a PS4 game that
got
you can play on PS5.
Compatibility. Did they ever do a patch?
It's
I don't
60.
know.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
They did an update for PS5.
Yeah.
So it's already got a 60 patch.
Yeah. So you're basically paying for whatever new modes and bells and whistles they're putting in there.
Yep.
More so.
Yep.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Whatever.
Feeling pretty good about my which game had the most negative impact on the industry.
Yeah, that's true. You have said that for a long time. I'll give you credit on that one. The last thing I wanted to touch on today, guys, is just Suicide Squad. So we got the kind of re-reveal of Suicide Squad this week with what they call the Suicide Squad Insider Episode 1, 20-minute YouTube video from the team over there at Rocksteady talking specifically about story and gameplay. So they basically showed off some of the characters, some of the narrative, and then showed off gameplay in Metropolis. So real quick, some of the details on this one. So first of all, it releases February 2nd. So I believe that's the week after Yakuza or Like a Dragon.
Groundhog Day.
So we're already starting to get these early, we've got Last of Us 2, again, 19th, and we got Like a Dragon, then we've got Suicide Squad early in 2024. The core details. So according to literally their site is it features an original story, narrative-driven experience, picks up the story 5 years after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. So they're tying this to their prior work in the Arkham trilogy.
Straight up Arkhamverse. Yeah. If you watch this 20-minute PR thing, it is directly tied to their Arkham stuff.
Yep. And I think they're doing that for obvious reasons, right? Or trying to call that out for obvious reasons. Metropolis as a city is an open sandbox. It is twice the size of Gotham City from Arkham Knight. You can take control of any of the 4 main characters. You can switch between them seamlessly as long as you're outside of combat. You can play it solo. You can play co-op for up to 4 people, obviously. There's cross-play and cross-progression.
Obviously, but we would have thought that about Gotham Knights.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair. Crossplay and cross progression are in at launch, which is good. You can customize the character, new looks, weapon skills, more, which is where this battle pass is going to come into play. And they have already confirmed a 60 FPS mode for both PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. The big thing, of course, I wanted to talk to you guys about is at the bottom of this FAQ on their site are the live service elements. So it includes regular post-launch seasonal updates earnable at no additional cost by playing the game. Updates include new story content, playable characters, missions, gear, weapons, cosmetic items, in-game events, and more. It will also have a post-launch cosmetics-only battle pass to earn new outfits, emotes, customizable stuff, premium tiers as well, optional in-game purchase. So probably pretty much what we expect out of modern-day battle passes. And then it will also have cosmetic items available for in-game purchasing that can be used to customize the playable characters as well. So it's sounding kind of Diablo-ish, where you've got earnable stuff in game, you've got Battle Pass, which is both free and premium, and you have an in-store shop where you can spend real money as well. So a lot of customization and stuff, to buy, if you will.
Can I say something that's going to make some people mad?
Do it.
Do it. I don't think it's ever stopped you before, Hope.
No. Roll it, buddy.
This video, this release, actually basically convinced me to look forward to this title. I am now looking forward to the Suicide Squad kill.
I'm glad you said that, because in our DMs the other day, you said you were more turned off, if I remember correctly.
I thought you said the opposite, Hoke.
From the little clips I got on Twitter, but I actually sat down and watched this thing the other night.
Yeah.
And thought it was really impressive. So a couple of things that they said that I really liked is that Rocksteady focuses on character and narrative first and foremost. And then they showed a cutscene and they actually talked about how they were implementing this into this game in a way that did not feel kind of half-assed to me. And so I really liked what they had to show there. And then the actual combat of this game looked significantly flashier and more agile and interesting than I'd expected. I thought it was going to be shooting and guns and just jumping around like Gotham Knights, essentially. And it's very colorful. It's very vibrant. It's very fast looking. It reminds me a lot of Sunset Overdrive, honestly.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it just looks fun.
And I'm actually in favor of the live service model that like Diablo uses, where I like to know that there is a reason monetarily for these companies to stick with this game. So I like a battle pass because I like the incentives there. I like what Diablo has put together. People get on me at Twitter because of the $65 horse armor, which isn't really $65 of horse armor, by the way. No. It's just their package deal for their premium currency. But I like those things. It's turned out really well with Diablo. So my only concern right now is that I hope that it is a real plan with real teams and seasons and battle passes or whatever, and not kind of a half-assed Avengers plan, right? And I don't have any reason to believe that it is a half-assed plan. So I'm gonna vote for optimism right now, because I thought actually in video form that 20-minute video was really impressive. If you're at all on the fence on this, I am not a Suicide Squad fan. I don't really love DC as much as Marvel. I was not excited about this project. This is a PR video, so take it with a grain of salt, but it is an excellent job of saying why you should care about this game being released, I think.
You literally just said everything, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. And it sounds like Travis is too, where like, I was indifferent on this game. I don't care about the Suicide Squad at all from a character perspective, but just watching this and seeing them fly around Metropolis and like, you know, what's going to be possible, whether you're playing solo or co-op, and to your point, Hogue, around, you know, just building out some of the cutscenes and stuff. It just looks fun. It just looks like a fun game to play.
It looks fun to play. It looks like they have the narrative core that they put into Arkham. Like they're still worried about you feeling something about what you're doing. And I think that combination could be really impressive. And I think people are burned by the Avengers. I didn't hate the Avengers, but I understand why people were burned by it. And this
looks live service game, which
this looks like a much better version of that approach. Yeah. And certainly, I've thought from the moment they announced "Kill the Justice League" as the subtitle, that's an intriguing premise as it stands, and they're clearly kind of leaning into that. So,
yeah, and I think they do a good job too at this video of showing. You know, they've taken steps back, right? Clearly, they were going I think more kind of I don't want to say live service, but the direction, you know, a few years ago looked a little different, a little more narrow maybe in scope. I don't know if Avengers kind of changed it. We know they've taken a couple steps back and kind of put more into this game. And for whatever reason, looking at this video, it just looks like the time has served it well. And I think that, I don't know, it just, I can't say any more about that. I talk all the time about comic games don't interest me. I'm not playing Spider-Man. They just don't interest me. But knowing that like some of us, the four of us or other friends can just jump in and out of this game together and, you know, fly around Metropolis and unlock stuff. And to your point about the battle pass, right? If you're just unlocking things for cosmetics and making your characters look goofy and, you know, that stuff's just fun.
I will tell people, I will admit it here. I don't think I've admitted it online anywhere else. I bought that $65 horse armor thing for Diablo 4 because it was really for like 8,000 premium bucks. And I wanted to have the battle pass till the expansion comes out next year. So it was just, I always look for those little package deals that I think started with Fortnite.
Yeah, it's a bonus. Like, exactly.
You get a costume and you get $10 of currency. Yeah. So I'm always looking for those. Yes, I think they're trying out how is this going to go on the higher end. I'm not sure it's a wise thing forever, but I like to support the games I like to play, and I've never stopped liking Diablo 4. I am in a mood to play something like what Suicide Squad showed. So I'm actually really looking forward to that at the top of February.
And sorry, I know me and Hogue are going back and forth, but it comes out right after Like a Dragon too. Perfect, like companion game from single player long RPG to just having fun blasting through stuff with friends. I love it.
Yeah, I want to play this thing with Travis. The most fun I had in Gotham Knight was with Travis running around.
You got to get some more friends.
I'll probably review this one, honestly.
Well,
nice.
So, yeah.
Go, Travis. Go.
Yeah, let me go. So I have a different perspective for this because I already sort of believed in this game because I just think Rocksteady is a really talented studio and they've put 9 years into this, and I just don't believe that they put 9 years into this and it's going to be like underbook cooked. The reason I think people's perspective are changing is because I think what they realized with that first video that they showed last year is that they were really focusing on the wrong stuff to show to get people into this game, because that's not really why people want to play this game. Of course, if it's a live service game, there's going to be loot drops and, you know, a tiered system and stats and all that. But that's not what people want to see. And I think that they got that feedback loud and clear, and that's why they completely represented this game. And I don't know if it's really changed all that much. I think they just focused on the right stuff, like the stuff that people actually are going to care about. The story stuff, I think, is gonna be great, because Rocksteady has some of the best writers in the industry right now, and they're not afraid to just be silly and have fun, which I think we are in dire need of more of that these days. And killing the Justice League and playing sarcastic, weird characters just sounds super cool. They've got the fact that we've got Batman's last performance in the game on their side. Kevin Conroy. I think that's going to be huge for them. I think the things that work against them are, we still have not seen a single player primary game, like a game that where not single player, but where single player non-competitive content is the main driver in this model and work as a live service game. Destiny struggles with that, with the ability to turn out content fast. Sorry, there's a fly attacking me. With the ability to turn out content fast enough to keep people who show up for the narrative, to keep them engaged on a long tail. And so I think that is a big issue for Rocksteady specifically, a studio that has reputation for taking a really long time to make content. And so that's my worry about this, is like, it took them 9 years to make the base game. Are they going to be able to get their ducks in a row with the live service model and create meaningful content that is going to keep people who bought the game for the reason of, I want to hear a great story, and Rocksteady is known for that? Are they going to be able to get those people to come back again and again? That's really hard. We don't have a lot of examples of live service games that have been able to do that. But if anyone can do it, it's Rocksteady. It's just a question of how much budget has Warner Brothers given them? How much has their team grown over these 9 years to include different teams to work on live service and that sort of stuff? And then also, where do you go after you kill the Justice League, presumably in the main story? What other stories are can you really tell? The other big thing that I think they have going against them is, I think Warner Brothers keeps trying to make people care about Suicide Squad, and I don't think people do. I don't know that a lot of people really care about it. And there's a certain gravitas to having Batman that I think made Gotham Knights an immediate like winner when it comes to like, can you sell this game to people?
Yeah.
And I don't know that Suicide Squad has that. I think they know that people like Harley Quinn, and so they're trying to capitalize on that. But the Suicide Squad, from my perspective, has sort of fallen flat a couple times in terms of people caring about it. And again, if anyone can change that perspective, it's Rocksteady. But I do think that that's a legit mark against them, right? It's the difference between Divinity and Baldur's Gate when it comes to Larian projects, right? It's like one of them people really care about, and one of them people kind of, it's an unknown quantity. So I think those are the two areas that I think are big pitfalls. But I think the base game, regardless of how the live service comes out and whether it sells well, I think the base game is going to be awesome. And I felt that since they first showed it. And I know Rocksteady's got talent, and I think it's going to be good. So I'm super excited for this. That demo amped me up, and I'm going to try to see if I can review it, because I think this is like a perfect Travis review game. So
nice.
I'll see if I'll do the same. Maybe we can get some games in together. It'd be fun.
That'd be cool. We should get the whole panel on it. This is like a rare instance where all of us would play this type of game. Dan, because it's a superhero game. You and me, because it's multiplayer. Hogue, because it's got story. It's it's kind of the
Dan,
perfect
co-op.
Yeah,
Suicide Squad.
I would try that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of those. After this, I'm
dibs on Peacemaker.
Okay. I didn't know he was in the game.
I wanted to be King Shark, so
yeah.
Okay.
I don't usually care.
I don't care.
I'll probably suck.
I actually think Harley Quinn looks like she had the most advanced skill set in the video.
Yeah. I'm gonna need every single advantage I can get.
Come on, with this hair, Ains has got to be Harley.
That's fine too.
I have to wear this every time we play.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I gotta be Boomerang. That guy's a doucher. This seems super uncool.
You have to be
all right, whatever. I don't care. Listen. Here's the thing. I'm kind of like.
Did you watch the video, Dan?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah, so I'm higher on it than I was. And Rocksteady, like Travis has always said, has been they're just a proven they proved what they can do. But like he also said, narratively, it's very, very hard to, after the game, you're through that single player stuff, which I look forward to. It's hard to kind of keep going. Halo couldn't do it. Diablo 4 couldn't do it for me.
I would argue Diablo 4, when Travis was saying nobody has done it, I would say
they're the closest. I would say they've done an okay job, but it's still, for me, I still don't care. Like until like the expansion comes out, I really,
Genshin Impact is probably actually the best example, Hogue, of like a long tail, like they've done stories, but it's still a challenge. It's tough.
Yeah. So I mean that's fine, but I'm definitely gonna get it now. I mean, I probably wasn't super high on it before this video, but now, I'm down. I'm down to co-op some stuff.
Nice.
Such an impressive job. You want to talk about good marketing? Like we talk about bad marketing a lot. I really think they took a somewhat neutral stance in the industry overall towards its project and really made you something that this is why you should look forward to this.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Really good job.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm looking forward to, they said they've got more, this is episode 1. They've had more coming. So I'm me, I'm excited to see about the loot and the drops and the gear and stuff. Like I want to see that stuff. So
I think that's something to keep you playing and something that like gets you excited. Like, oh, okay, while I'm doing all this fun stuff and hearing this great story, now I'm gonna kind of like get hooked on the loot game. But I don't think you lead with that, and I don't know if they should focus on it a lot with the with these Vidocs. I kind of think they should stay away from that and just let people get pulled in once they start playing. But we'll see. Yeah,
we'll see. Maybe they cover it lightly, but they did such a good job to explain this one. We'll see. So we did have a super chat. Yeah, we had an old super chat from Shush here I didn't want to miss when we were going through the Game Awards. So apologies about that one.
Oh, the Euros.
Hollow Knight easy.
Best delay.
Unity Chronicles.
Silk Song.
Yeah, I think Silk Song would be the
they just let us on the entire year and didn't even officially delay it.
He said to 2024.
Yeah, this could be on. You could be right, Hope.
That's perfectly fair.
I think it'll come out next year, but I Silk Song's my vote for that category.
Or Suicide Squad. We don't know, man. Could be awesome.
That's true.
Suicide Squad was delayed to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah. Shush, thank you very much. Sorry for getting to that late. Apologies on that one.
Shush, you sound like a streamer.
Yeah.
I picked Shush for top content creator for 2023.
Yeah. I can't wait to play the Nintendo Shush.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up today, boys. I know we got some things to take care of. So on the season gaming side, we did get back finally to cast co-op. So me, Joe, Luke, Xbox Expansion Pass, the trophy room got back. So we have an episode up from this week. We did some Game Awards stuff as well, but a bunch of other things. So if you can check that out on the channel. Other than that, I'm not going to shout anything else crazy this week, so I'll just pass it over quickly and I'll hit up Travis.
Let me get us.
Dan's got a shout out.
I want to shout out Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's Thanksgiving week.
Well, we were going to end. I was going to end with that.
I don't care. I'm going to do it now because it's the best week of the year. It's the best holiday of the year.
No, it's not.
You get to eat all the time. I'm literally prepping my turkey for tomorrow. We're going to have Thanksgiving
you do have
on
to
Monday.
Admit, there's a lot of food in football. So
much food in football. So tomorrow we got Chiefs game, full turkey, full spread, ready to go. Wednesday.
Wait, you have a pre-Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we do a pre. I got 3 turkeys this year. We got this one for tomorrow. We got Thanksgiving Day, obviously, and then also next Sunday. So
don't forget to baste that full spread.
Listen, it's gonna be amazing. It's the best week of the year. It's just turkey all the time, and then
just be careful, Dan. It sounds like an awful lot. I don't want you to bust.
Oh, I don't care.
I do want you to bust.
That's how I want
you
to go
feel
out.
Good.
Yeah.
Get the comfy pants out.
Yeah. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna be this bro. Week. It's right. Don't care.
For sure.
Bring it on.
I can hide my face now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good look for you, honestly.
Do one of these things. Do one of these. There you go. Now you got it. Now you went the wrong way.
Yeah, work on that, I know what I'm here. I'm playing. I'm learning on the fly here what you do with this hair stuff.
All right, we're gonna ban Rob from the chat from here on out. I don't like turkey.
It's a little bit of a dry meat.
I mean, ham's better.
Cook it right.
Ham's better, but
oh my god, what in the hell, man? Ham?
I didn't expect this to be the biggest fight of the day.
I love that.
Travis, what do you got going on?
We can go through 2.5-hour show with no passion from Dan until you bring up food. Then all hell breaks loose.
This is a food podcast, as we've learned from our commenters.
Hold on, we got a super chat to get to from Mr. Lionheart.
Oh, Lionheart, $5. I can't even get past this ham thing. Hello, all. Happy Thanksgiving. Question for the panel: what are your thoughts on splitting reviews between campaign and multiplayer, like how I generally reviews COD? I'm fine with that.
We do it as well at Season Gaming. I like doing that, honestly.
I think it matters a lot with certain games where they feel like almost self-contained, especially when some of them are made by different teams and have different sandboxes, which is kind of interesting. I think if it's useful to the reader, it's useful to review it. It just is a question of how much interest is there in those things. And usually, I think originally it was made because campaign and multiplayer were so different in Call of Duty, and now you see the scores kind of almost being the same, which is unfortunate for Call of Duty because this year didn't go their way.
Well, the other thing too is that campaign is a contained experience, right? Especially in Call of Duty this year, 3 to 4 hours, right? But it's a contained experience, whereas multiplayer, you can't really review pre-release for day one what I would call properly, right? You need to get in there with the public. You need to play for a few weeks or at least several days and put some time into it to figure out how well it's balanced, to figure out how deep it is, et cetera, et cetera. So they're very different experiences. So I personally like separating those.
Yeah. I did it for, what was that game? The
Crossfire.
Crossfire X, because those were actually made by different teams. Campaign was made by Remedy, and it was a very different game. So I think it makes sense in certain situations, but ultimately the goal of reviewers is always to be useful to readers and help them navigate what they're getting out of the games that they buy. So
I think it's a great idea, but I do think it says something about the product, right? I've thought about Call of Duty in this way for a long time, which is it's a package of sometimes lightly related goods under the single banner, and you're going to like some of it and you're going to not like other parts of it. So to the extent I think it's necessary, I think that says something bad about the product offering. I think you should be able to get campaign by itself in some way or in a package of 9 campaigns, whatever you want to do. They did that Zombies release, right? So I do think that there's a separation here. And the economics part of my brain says, well, that looks a lot like tying goods that you don't want to get the price up. And I don't love that. So when we talk about bad policies and people, yelling at me for liking the Suicide Squad commercial because it's going to be monetized, I understand that, but we should look at other things already happen in the industry first and foremost. And I think the combined Call of Duty offering is the starting point for a lot of bad things in terms of monetization in the industry.
Yeah, especially the annual. We could talk about the annual model too, but that's a whole nother thing. Don, by the way, we got a second super chat from Don supporting Dan.
Man, I'm literally okay. We're having 2 Thanksgiving this year at my insistence, of course. I agree with Dan. Thanksgiving for the win. Have a great holiday, y'all.
Have a great holiday, Don.
Have a great holiday, Don, and everyone else.
People, I got a free ham with
for
my
the
turkey.
for the record,
because apparently I hate people, but it's fine. It's fine.
For the record, I'm also a big fan of Thanksgiving. I like any holiday that has like a purpose behind it because I'm not really into recreation. So if a holiday, my favorite holiday is Yom Kippur because I feel like self-improvement and forgiveness is pretty good. And Thanksgiving, remembering to be thankful for things is useful. So I like holidays that have like a self-improvement or, reparation of relationships. Or New Year's is another good one where you're trying to create goals for the year. I like anything like that, and I like less the frivolous ones where it's just about like having a party or whatever. So yeah, I like Thanksgiving, and this year I'm thankful for all the people on the Bitcast panel who've made all my Sunday mornings interesting.
Except for one where you didn't join us in the morning, but
didn't show up.
Why do I get shit for that? But you guys take like weekends off. Like I don't take any weekends off. You guys go on vacation and shit. And I like
I think it's because we tell Ains we're not going to be there.
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
It's very nice.
Yeah. No, seriously. And happy Thanksgiving, obviously, for this week for everyone. I hope you have a great week, a relaxing week with family, friends, whatever you like to do. I will hand deliver a ham to Dan. I'll take care of that locally here for us.
I'm going to donate
but Travis.
To those less fortunate.
I like Fuchsia's comment in the chat. It's Travis.
Yeah, that's a very good comment.
Looking holidays with a pro-social meaning or message. That's right. Holidays for impact, folks.
Yeah, no, that is not what I meant. But yeah, that's a hilarious joke. That's good.
Fuchsia's great.
What do I got going on this week? You should look at my review of Assassin's Creed Nexus. I don't think either of my reviews for Anacrusis or Asgard's Wrath 2 are going to be anywhere near ready for publication by the time we next meet. So I don't have a lot to promote. You should play Remnant 2's the Awakened King DLC if you were into that game. That came out this week. I did not get to write a review for it because it's not a big enough expansion to merit a
one of
review,
my favorite action games of the year.
God damn it. It's great. But yeah, I don't have a lot of content to promote, but I hope everybody has an awesome Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys. We have a show next Sunday, right?
Yeah, we have a show next week. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
See you guys then.
Oh,
I am very happy to say that I got back on the content creation horse this past week. I've been trying to kind of get my ducks in a row on both the law firm and content creation side, and have come up with what I think is going to be a workable schedule for the rest of the year. We will see long term, so bear with me, everybody, but I'm going to do a couple videos a week, one in kind of the early half of week, Monday, Tuesday, and one in the late half of week, Thursday, Friday.
Nice.
Which will either be a virtual legality or a Hangouts and Headlines, depending on what's happening that week in the news. So we'll figure it out as we go. But I do think if you're interested in hearing me talk about things, I will be on the Hogue Law YouTube channel. I think a couple videos a week, probably all in a live format, doing those things, the legal analysis that the channel grew up with and the Hangouts and Headlines stuff that I know a lot of people enjoy. So I did 2 this last week. Go check them out if you're interested in the University of Michigan program and various ways that the media is treating Signgate. Or check us out next week, where I'm going to be covering various things, which is currently potentially going to be the corporate function of the OpenAI group and what is happening over there. So
interesting.
We'll see if we cover that, but it is on my list of potential possibilities.
I'm quite literally working with them as we speak. Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, like we said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is Leon Kennedy signing off. Remember, don't buy your turkeys from Umbrella.
Can we get a quote like "Where's everybody going? Bingo." Can we get like a Leon Kennedy quote?
I don't know any Leon Kennedy quotes.
No, come on. You know the part where the bell rings and all the guys walk away in Resident Evil 4, and he goes, "Where's everybody going?
We're going to take out Umbrella."
We're gonna take out Umbrella. I don't even think I could do his voice. It's so kind of like
you got to do the full anime.
Yeah, I can't do it. We're gonna move on.
What a cop out.
I know, it's bad.
Where?
You're pretty guys. Thank you. Your glasses. I think they cut that from the Resident Evil remaster.
It's true though. Yeah. You guys are amazing. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate everyone who supports us. Have a good holiday. Have a good break. We will see you next Sunday. Until then.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Ham sucks.